Tuesday, but early voting continues through the end of this week. The PSC oversees rate increases and other proposals from Georgia utility companies, among other responsibilities. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
The first trial for one of the defendants accused of trying to stop construction of Atlanta's new public safety training center was scheduled to begin today, but that didn't happen. Judge Kevin Farmer addressing the Fulton County jury today.
I am going to declare a mistrial in this case, which means y'all are done.
The Court of Appeals told the judge the news media should not have been excluded from jury selection. A new trial date will be set for Ayla King with a new jury pool. King is charged with violating the state's racketeering law. Hearings begin in Austell for residents facing a 158% increase in property taxes.
Mayor Ollie Clemens has told residents the city is in crisis mode and rate hikes have been delayed too many years. Sharing with Channel 2 Action News, the time has come.
Now it's just time to do something about it.
But residents don't necessarily agree.
158% runs the risk of driving some people on fixed incomes, especially seniors, out of their homes. Can you live with that?
The council voted against a similar measure in 2024. Lisa Nicholas, 95.5 WSB.
Crews trudged through debris and wade into swollen rivers today in the search for victims of catastrophic flooding, which has killed close to 90 people in Texas. That includes more than 24 campers and counselors from an all-girls Christian camp. With additional rain on the way, the risk of more flooding was still high today in saturated parts of central Texas. Update on tariffs. President Trump is issuing letters saying goods from Japan and South Korea will be taxed at 25% starting August 1st. It's 3:03. The Von Hessler Doctrine begins in less than 2 minutes. Right now beginning your live team coverage of traffic and weather. And Alex Williams is checking that afternoon drive.
Got a new crash downtown, 7585 northbound at 10th Street, exit 250, right in the Midtown area, actually. It is in the center lane, slowing the ride back toward I-20. Long-standing crash, been there about an hour, still in the HOT lane in Gwinnett, 85 northbound before Indian Trail Road, exit 101, so that slows the ride, leaving 285 in Dorville up into Norcross. And better news down on the south side perimeter by the airport, crash cleared on the 285 westbound interloop ramp to I-85, exit 61. Those delays slowly starting to shake out as you leave I-75, making your way through those airport tunnels. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy and hot today, high 94, lows tonight in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds along with an isolated pop-up shower, high 93. A few pop-up storms on Wednesday, high 92.
It's 93 degrees in Lovejoy, 93 in Lawrenceville, and 92 in Midtown Atlanta at 3:04. More news at 3:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
These people just make noise and basically waste our time.
Dear members of the media and the public, I welcome you.
Live from the heart of Atlanta, Georgia, and beyond, hour one of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. I am your lovable, huggable radio chat host, Eric Von Hessler. The other voices you hear are the Doctrinaires. Man of 1,000 voices, Tim Andrews. Lady of 184.7 characters, Autumn Fisher. English Nick joins us.
Hello.
We're going to get caught up on Black Sabbath and Oasis and all the other weekend fun. We also have the man behind the glass, George Clark, and the handsomest producer in all of producery, Jared Yamamoto.
Oh, I thought English Dick was joining us for Bay Week. We've got 4 Beyonce shows in Atlanta starting this weekend. I thought you were here for that, Nick.
Did they get that? Did they get that car sorted out that hangs from the ceiling? That
She's still in it. Driving around.
Yeah, that's a frightening thing from a couple of weeks ago where she's so there's one part, it looked kind of cool. I saw the picture of it.
It floats around and suspended from the ceiling. She's singing
some large, a pink Cadillac or something like that, and she's a red Cadillac, and she's riding in it singing. Looks pretty cool. But then, a couple of weeks ago, started to tilt, and then she was like, hey, stop this ride, because she was about to fall out into the crowd.
We'll say this. She sang for quite a bit when it started to tilt.
She's a pro.
And then she's like, stop. But what cracked me up was the people below her with their cell phones going, we got you, babe.
That's right.
No, you don't have her. The security guys are going to get her. They got
first
her
of all,
down.
security guys have put their smartphones down.
Yes.
You haven't got her.
I got you.
You're not going to make your channel blow up with that video. You're not going to put that down and catch her. So.
Stop. There you go.
So I imagine a couple of people who put that rigging up are fired, and they've
I'm
got
sure.
new people
Well,
in.
I mean, you never know. Just
Well,
could
if
be
you
a-
almost kill the artist, I don't. It's very difficult to
I'd
come
say
back from that. You know,
but if it was a piece of equipment that malfunctioned,
it
then
could
it's
have
not their
been.
fault.
I guess it could
Yeah.
have been, but it looked to me like some of the wiring or something didn't work properly. So my guess is somebody had to lose their job just to wake everyone else up. All right, there's one person that if we lose that person, we get no money.
Nobody.
And that's Beyonce. So that's got to be protected.
What this tells me is I can go downtown today for the next 4 or 5 days and get me a really cheap, bright-colored cowboy hat on the street because I was downtown when Shakira was in town. I wasn't going to the show. I was driving by. And those guys that sell the knockoff T-shirts and all that stuff, they were selling those belly chains that she
Did
has.
you get one?
No, I didn't get one.
Oh, I thought you were
Didn't
rocking
get
one right
the,
now.
The belly dancing ones?
Yes.
Like jingly jangle?
You could buy them from the dodgy geezers outside.
Yes, you can get the jingly janglies from the dodgy geese.
Or a T-shirt that will wash out in 3 washes.
Hey, will you show that for me?
Yeah, my wife was in Jacksonville, Amelia Island, over the weekend, and I noticed when she came back as kind of a red, white, and blue cowboy hat. That's the Beyonce thing, isn't it? Like
Well,
with the stars.
That's one of them. Yes,
One of
she
them.
does have one.
yeah.
With this
Like that.
Cowboy Carter thing, there's a lot of different colors of hats. Yeah.
I've got it. And my understanding is some semblance of country music. But hey,
Yay.
listen, who am I?
It's
to
country adjacent.
Who am I to sneeze at success? People are probably very happy. And 4 shows.
Getting plenty
Enjoy
of chances.
yourselves.
Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and Monday. She has that many shows.
Nothing on Saturday?
Tell you what, she's taking Saturday off. You know, she wants to- she
We got
wants
the
to
All-Star game this
regroup.
weekend,
Shomer
too.
Shabbos.
Whatever. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So we have English Nick here because it was a big music weekend, along with the celebration of the 249th birthday of the United States of America. Most of it not necessarily here. It was in England. Most of it was going.
Big,
it was all going on.
iconic artists
Yeah.
were either beginning again or being celebrated the end of.
So I watched a lot of the Black Sabbath stuff.
Yeah, me too. I watched it all.
I didn't. Now I didn't buy the syndication package, but like a half hour after everybody was done, they would have like their full sets up on YouTube.
Oh, really?
So I just started kind of watching those. I saw Black Sabbath. I saw Slayer. I saw Tool, and I didn't see Ozzy alone.
Yeah. I think the Ozzy solo set was better than the Black Sabbath set because obviously it's younger, somewhat younger musicians playing the stuff. And
I thought, listen, he sounded great. I'm worried. 3 words we all have to look out for now over the next week or so. Wings of Pegasus. Are you familiar with this YouTube channel?
No, I'm not.
This guy is just scientifically, there's no room for debate. It's not my opinion. He just shows you whether or not people have backing vocals or are singing to it. Now, I do not want to find out because Ozzy sounded
real.
pretty damn great. I was a little worried at first because when they opened up and he was using, what did they open up with? They only played like 4 of their biggest songs. It wasn't Paranoid. It was War Pigs.
It wasn't Mama I'm Sabbath did. Yeah, War Pigs.
I'm sorry. Yeah, War Pigs. And like every second line, right at the very beginning, he was going out to the crowd, and I was a little bit worried. But then his voice, it seemed to be fine. And I just don't want to find out that in a moment like that, it wasn't as real as we think it was.
It seemed real enough because obviously when he was talking, it was into the microphone, it was on, and when he sang, it seemed like it was really
Well,
live.
the question is, a lot of times it's not just your lip syncing, right? You have like your own backing vocals or something like that, so you can kind of pull down and let that rise
Yeah, I don't think
at certain
so.
times. Hopefully that wasn't happening because I saw they sounded
know,
great. I thought that they played great. I thought the bassist, Geezer Butler, looked like he was 50 years old. He looks like he'd do 3 more tours. Now, what we didn't need to see was drummer Bill Ward's boobs.
Well, he decided to take his shirt off after a song, and what are you going to do?
I think about a halfway, like after the first song was over, I think that old dude was like, "Wow, this is a lot more than I expected."
Well, you know, all day long before each performance, there would be a still picture would come up of Ozzy on stage when he was a little bit younger, and it would say the following performance will have adult language and may have adult language and flashing sequences, right?
Right.
And so before the Black Sabbath one, it said the following performance may have moves, adult language, and flashing. But
these were old man moves.
Yeah.
And the really good thing about Ozzy sitting down was the back of the throne was high enough that you really would not see Bill Ward's moves. But I mean, that was like, hey, dude, that's from
Yeah.
back in the day. You don't take your shirt off. But I think what happened was he's not used to playing much anymore, and they got about in the middle of that second song. He was like, "Woo, this is taking a lot more out of this old man than I expected."
Hey, he's 77, so
Yeah.
he was showing him.
Oh, yeah. There's got to be pictures. I don't know. There's gotta
I'm looking
be,
at him right now. Yeah. I'm looking.
Oh no, they're hanging. They need a they need a Manzier.
Yeah.
No doubt.
His moves have their own roadie. They do.
Yeah, get them tuned up.
Yeah.
But they sounded very good. Tony
Yeah.
Iommi is ageless. I don't know if it's makeup. He's kind of a Ringo type. His face
Yeah.
just sort of looks the same as it did
Oh,
20
happy
years
birthday,
ago.
Ringo, by the way.
Oh,
85 today.
Look at that. Hey, Ringo, happy birthday.
I was too busy watching Black Sabbath over the weekend.
Peace and love.
And
Now, supposedly...
reading the script of my movie to make sure they got everything right.
Yeah, apparently Ringo changed some things from the movies that are being made. So we just didn't act like
God,
that.
have you seen any interviews with Ringo's son recently?
People say he's out of it.
You can hardly understand
I
it.
think what happened is he's maybe partied a bit too hard over the years. This is Zach Starkey we were talking about, Ringo's son, who has played with everybody from Oasis to The Who and everything. And in these recent interviews he did with NME magazine in the UK, he just seems not only bitter, but also just not all there.
He's not making sense, and Roger Daltrey was looking like the bad guy from The Who, and
Yeah.
now the more Zach speaks,
I know.
it's like, maybe this guy needed to, because he was supposed to, something else I want to talk to you about is Oasis over the weekend, and probably had he been available in the past, he's been drumming with Oasis. and
Yeah, but I
they
think-
passed him by this time.
Yeah.
They got a great drummer. I can't remember who it is.
It's not the original guy, is it?
No. It's a great drummer, but I just can't remember who it is. So that was the other side. So the Black Sabbath thing, I was a little confused. Like I couldn't figure out, is this supposed to be Ozzy Day or Black Sabbath
Well, it's
Day?
farewell to Black Sabbath, and also Ozzy obviously is not going to perform anymore.
All
I
right.
don't think that's
okay.
Because
But
of
it
the
seemed
Parkinson's.
like he was double dipping. Like you got three other guys,
Oh,
and then Ozzy's
yeah.
double dipping on the whole thing. But also I watched a bunch of stuff. I thought Slayer had a good set.
Slayer
I thought
always bring it,
Tool had a good set. So there was good stuff. Yeah, I don't know much Tool, but I'm always impressed by them.
Circle.
Huh? In a perfect
and a
circle.
perfect circle. Yeah.
And or in.
And Pucifer. He's
And-
got many
yeah.
projects. And
Right.
he has his own
Lucifer's
vineyard.
weird.
His
I
own
like it though
vineyard.
because I can't help it.
Yeah.
So
This is Maynard we're
I
talking about.
thought that show. I wouldn't say it went off without a hitch. I didn't see all the stuff everybody's complaining about. Axl Rose's voice.
well, Axl
Jason
Rose's-
Momoa was the host for
Axl
some
Rose-
weird
That's
reason.
weird. Why?
I guess he's a fan.
Maybe he's just a big fan.
Yeah, he's a fan.
Well, he's a fan of a lot of metal bands. He's been very vocal about that recently. He's always backstage at these big shows, and I think he may have become friends with Sharon and Ozzy along the way. And
Boy,
was
she
terrible
looked weird.
host.
Boy, that new Ozempic face of hers. Is
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
Sharon-
There's no coming back from it. I mean, you can't reinflate the face. Maybe you
No.
can. I don't know. At that age,
Well,
I
and
have
the
no
problem
idea.
is when you get older, you need more weight on
Yeah,
you, and
yes.
instead she went the opposite way, and now you look even more older in a way.
Yeah, when those lips are just like the 4 feet
And then-
ahead of her
Yeah. 'Cause
face.
everything else, nothing's proportionate. It's
Yeah,
weird.
and then all of a sudden these big red plump lips.
Mm-hmm.
It's very. It looks like it literally looks like those lips, those wax lips you used to when you're a kid. That's what
Yeah,
that's
you
what
get
she
him in a
looks like.
Christmas cracker in England sometimes.
If her face filled out, right? Like if she got some more
Yeah.
weight on her,
Well,
then
now
her
she's
face
gonna
would
go-
fill out and things would look better.
She's gonna. And well, apparently she's gonna let us know one band that she told to stay away because they wanted to make.
Well,
money.
their manager, when she had this band that was going to be on the bill, the manager said, "Well, how much is the cut?" He wanted to get some money for
Yes.
the band, and she just took him up. She
Now,
hasn't said it.
now
She
every
hasn't
member of
said
the
yet.
band is going to be dragged through the mud when maybe they would have said otherwise. It's probably just the manager. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
You-
There's always
you don't know.
there's always drama around Sharon Osbourne.
Of
Let's
course,
be honest. Yeah.
of
Who
course.
was the band?
She hasn't
She hasn't
said
said
yet.
yet.
It
She
hasn't
said she
come out
would.
yet.
She said she will tell at some point.
It's
Yeah.
a secret.
Is it a secret, Sharon? Is it?
It's a secret.
Tell
I'm
her
not
it's
gonna tell
Megadeth. It's Megadeth.
Nah, they've already-
No, Ozzy, don't tell. It's a secret.
Dave Mustaine is a jerk.
your daughter,
right.
your daughter Kelly already put that rumor to rest.
No, so it
It's
wasn't
not
then.
Megadeth.
All right.
It's not Iron Maiden. It's not Judas Priest.
And it is weird seeing these lead singers sit down while they're singing.
Yeah, that is a
Well,
weird.
Ozzy
I
has
will
no, he
say-
has no choice.
Well, no, I see. I know. Neither did Phil Collins. But Phil Collins
That was
made.
horrible, Eric. You should feel ashamed.
Phil Collins made the mistake of getting a chair from Office Depot.
Yeah, a wheelie chair.
At least this is like it had kind of a regal appearance. It
throne.
was a throne. It was and
It was like a throne made from the the
From the
corpses
dark
of-
side.
It's made from the leather of the devil. We
That's
know
right.
that.
We killed a cow outside and stripped it. It was a devil. It was devil leather, is what it was.
I like all day long. They had these 15-second clips from fans and different famous musicians around the world that have been pre-recorded. You know, their love for Ozzy, they're honoring Ozzy and Black Sabbath, and a couple of them had the bat with the Velcro head, and at the end of their 15-second video,
Shaboom.
rip it off. Yeah.
Now the other thing in music news, well, Eric, why are you starting with music news? Because that's the mood I'm in. Was Oasis.
Yeah, the Gallagher brothers finally buried all the hatchets and got back
Yes.
together. This is a massive sold-out tour worldwide, the biggest venues. Forget about Cardiff that happened this weekend. When they come home to Manchester, I mean, the city's going to crumble.
Well, I watched a good deal of their first show from a bunch of different cameras put together, and it looked pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It looked great. And
They're
I think that this is the end. Not that they're classic rock. They're not. They're from the 90s. But this is the last of this kind of thing, I think, when it comes to bands. Like, this is going to be the last time that a band gets together from a few years back and just goes 80,000 deep, and just the crowd was insane. And I think that it's pretty awesome to watch these guys who are what are they, like 52 or something like that? They're in their late 40s or early 50s.
Maybe mid-50s.
Maybe mid-50s.
Yeah.
So they're older, but they're still young enough. Their voices sound the same.
Yeah.
They put, and it looks to me like you see like this maturity going on. You know, Noel played here like last year or something.
With his High Flying Birds
Wasn't
band,
able to fill out Ameris Bank Amphitheater. And for these guys to realize that just stop fighting with everything. There's all these people who love what we did. And they really look like, both shows they walked on stage holding hands. They really look like they have kind of matured to the point where...
I think we should clarify what you mean by holding hands.
Well, holding
they weren't
hands then.
skipping to the loom,
No.
my darling, with their hands down low. It was like they got on stage and put their hands in the air and held the rest.
Well, no,
of
they
the
walk
other one.
right, but I mean,
Yeah,
they are that's a thing to the crowd saying, look, we're not going to be up
Right.
here fighting each other. We're not going to. We're here for the same reason you're here, which is we're recognizing that we did something special that people really love, and we're going to stop fighting against it and fighting against each other. Now, who knows? This may end with them not liking each other again, but I get the feeling. I get the feeling that they've matured past letting every little teeny difference blow up into, because you know, both of them have gone on to have some level of success. I've followed Noel more. I like his High Flying Birds albums, but not like this. And when, obviously, at some point you look at each other and go, look what we did. And these people still like us, and let's just go. And it looked like a greatest
they
hits.
lose, the testosterone gets lowered naturally as you get older,
Yeah.
and things start to
Yeah,
get a
and
little easier
if
to.
you're
A
Noel
little less
Gallagher
alcohol?
and you've got a
sure.
$100 million divorce on your hands, you need extra
that
money.
is
Well,
the thing.
there is that too.
No, you
need
know what?
the money.
People will still have a jab. There was a story I read somewhere today where it said the Gallagher brothers stayed in separate hotels while they were in Cardiff. Well, who cares?
Who cares?
There's probably different hotel rooms.
Yeah,
Probably
who
not-
knows?
It's not a big deal.
I mean,
They don't
yeah.
have to be in love with each other and in each other. I mean, they're brothers. They should love each other. But I mean, they don't have to be in each other's grills all the time. They just have to come to the recognition that we did something special.
They have, I
People
think.
love it,
They
and
have.
now we're going to celebrate it as opposed to constantly talking it down and all of that. Now, I think to me, Oasis has two great albums.
Right.
And then there's the rest.
Right.
But those two albums, you could do just those songs and have a great
Yeah, they're doing 2 hours,
concert.
24 songs. I mean, you know, they've got some pretty cool openers as far as the British crowd is concerned. And so Richard Ashcroft, you know, who was in the Verve.
Yes. Are they coming to America? Obviously,
Yes,
they are.
yeah,
And it's
already-
all sold out.
No Atlanta, but there's shows you can go
Why
to.
wouldn't they be doing
Nashville.
Atlanta?
Nashville's the closest, right, to us.
I don't know. I think so.
Why wouldn't they be doing Mercedes-Benz?
I gotta
That's
be
insane.
honest. I really appreciate Oasis. I was never a massive fan.
Me either.
And that was partly because I arrived in America in 1996, and they'd been massive in England for a while at that point. And everybody I ran into were like, "Do you like Oasis, man?" I'm like, No, I've had a belly full of them.
Yeah, you've had enough.
But I've really come to respect it.
Oh, man,
Great songwriting.
I really like the High Flying Birds. Their 3 albums. I guess they didn't really do much, especially in America. But I've liked them. But mostly, I was the Oasis Blur thing. I was a Blur. My old saying amongst my friends when I thought I was clever was that Oasis is a great idea for a band. Blur is a great band. But now I've come to love them both.
Well, you can say what you want to say about High Flying Birds and also Liam Gallagher's solo stuff that he's
NBDI.
done, which has been really successful lately in the UK. All of that kept them doing it so they could get to the point where they could do this really well.
So they're not Bill Ward taking his shirt off, showing off his moves. not really. I got to play 3 more of these.
Let me tell you.
Did you know? I got to go back. Was there any weakness on the drums? Because he took his shirt. He took his shirt off because he was.
I thought there was weakness not only with him but also with Tony Iommi. But also these guys haven't played in forever.
Yeah.
And who cares? They wrote the book, and that's all that matters. You know.
Well, you're getting caught up in the romance there a little bit. The Weeknd.
But when it comes to metal, yes, I really think that they did for a minute there.
Yeah, it's Geezer Butler. He's the same age, right? He's popping around out there like.
Ozzy just abused himself more than the others.
Oh, yeah, we know that. We know that.
They threw him out for a reason.
Although I think his moves are much smaller than Bill Ward's.
Well, I will tell you this.
Bill Ward wrote a bunch of the hits, didn't he? Bill Ward and Geezer Butler wrote way more than people think.
Yeah. I don't think it matters how old Oasis get because of their fashion sense. I mean, Liam Gallagher's been wearing not only
that baggy
button-down long-sleeve shirts, he's been wearing Parkers on stage in 90-degree heat for years and years and years, and he still always will.
With the hands in the pockets while he's singing, looking
brilliant.
down toward the.
He's a great frontman.
I think it's great. I think people should. I mean, there's nothing we can do. It's all sold out, but. If you care about these things, bands, which I do, which bands are a thing of the past, really, as far as being at the high top level of music. I don't think this is ever going to happen again. You could talk about REM if they got back together again. Certainly that would be very big, but I think that REM is a very, 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 very large niche. I think when this kind of thing is never going to happen again. Now, maybe in 30 years, it'll happen for Taylor Swift, but she's not a band.
What about Foo Fighters? If
they're still around. They're done. Come on. They feel stale. U2 feels stale.
Foo Fighters live is still a great experience. Still an amazing show.
Yeah, I've seen them live twice, and I know most of their catalog,
and the new song's pretty cool.
Shows.
The new song they just released is
I
pretty
find them
cool.
to be safe and boring. I'm sorry.
Well,
I find them to be safe and boring corporate
Dave
rock.
Grohl, well, I really thought Dave was going to show up at Sabbath because he's always been around the metal crowd. And it turned out he was in London for the Fontaines DC show in Finsbury Park, which they had a massive weekend of shows in London too.
What did Jack Black do?
Jack Black did a pre-recorded
like a whole
piece.
set? Oh, he wasn't
and he
there.
did Mr. Crowley in a studio, I guess in Los Angeles. And he had these 3 young teenage kids playing Mr. Crowley. And I wasn't really sure who they were. But the guitar player is Tom Morello's son. Tom Morello, who is from Rage Against the Machine. But he might be a better noodler than his dad is. He's amazing.
Is he a better multi-millionaire socialist than his dad is?
Hang on. There's the deal. I know that you think that about him, and here's the thing: he will be on the streets marching for certain causes that he believes in, but he was also able to bury those feelings for 12 hours while he paid tribute to Black Sabbath, and he was the musical director for the whole shindig. So,
and he never let his thing fly. He never had a rant.
Sharon Osbourne's been very vocal in the UK about how she thinks there's certain artists from the UK who come over here and start spouting things about free Palestine.
Right.
She says that their American work visas should be pulled.
Right.
So they've all got their views on it, but they all came
they're
together.
Able to kind of like table them.
So
that's very nice. So, but I'm always tickled by multi-millionaire socialist. When we were on the radio in Los Angeles, somebody we know was somebody was in the sales department at that time when Rage was this is mid '90s, so it's their time, and they're just like capitalism, we hate you, and all that, and one of these sales guys was selling his home to one of the members of Rage Against the Machine, and this was like back in the '90s. This was like $1 million home, and in a closed community, all this kind of stuff. I just find it very, very funny. We're looking to protect those that we don't really want to ever hang out with. Unless we're at a rally or some sort of movement thing. But I don't want to run into them at the supermarket, for heaven's sake.
Well, when you get on stage and you sing a song that has the lyrics rolling down Rodeo with a shotgun, then you need to probably lock yourself away sometimes.
Or just never be seen rolling down Rodeo. shotgun or not? How about just live your life the way that you sing it? It's always a possibility. All right, English Nick, thank you very much.
Cheers. Pleasure.
I knew that you put in the $30 for the entire.
I did.
And did you have all Saturday off, which never happens for
Pretty
you?
much, yeah, because it was over pretty early because it was on England time. So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, English Nick, and we'll talk to you on the next episode of Toodle Pep.
Men, are you having problems performing in the bedroom? Do pills like Viagra and Cialis leave you feeling frustrated? Well, now, there's new hope for men who suffer from PE and ED problems. Meet Dr. Katz, a specialist in men's health.
Hey guys, I'm Dr. Katz with Choice Men's Health. Regardless of your age or medical condition, Choice Men's Health can safely restore your sexual potency. Our customized solutions can eliminate your problem in just one visit. There's no pain, no surgery, and it's affordable.
Guys, don't let the anxiety over your performance get you down. We can get you back in the game. Call Choice Men's Health today to find out how you can eliminate ED on the very first visit. Call 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Hey, this is Robbie with Ben Hill Renovations, the preferred deck experts heard on the Home Fix-It Show. We're well known for our superior craftsmanship for decks and outdoor living spaces. And at Ben Hill Renovations, we provide that same attention to detail when it comes to roofing, siding, windows, and doors. So get your project started today and call to schedule a free estimate. Or you can stop by our showroom in Douglasville, online at bhrenovations.com. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. People often ask me why our mattresses last so long. The answer is simple. We build them right. Not only are OMF mattresses durable, they give you peace of mind from day one. When you invest in a mattress from OMF, you're investing in better sleep tonight and smart savings for years to come. No more frequent replacements, no more wasted time shopping. To learn more about the true value of durability, visit originalmattress.com and read our latest blog on getting the most from your mattress investment.
At the Original Mattress Factory, we know that convenience is key. That's why we've made mattress shopping simple and stress-free. Shop in-store or online, whatever works best for you. No high-pressure sales tactics or fake promotions. Our prices are clearly marked, and we openly compare our products to other brands. With our streamlined selection, you won't be overwhelmed by duplicate options, and our 365-day comfort policy provides for peace of mind. Experience the ease of buying factory direct. Visit OMF today for better sleep tonight.
Trust is not just a word, it's an experience. When your home needs service, you can trust TE certified electrical, plumbing, heating, and cooling. Hey, it's Chris Chandler. TE is the company I trust to fix any problem once and for all. Their 5-star customer experience means easy online scheduling, friendly technicians, and a lifetime workmanship warranty, so I can just sit back and relax.
TE certified, we love your home.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 3:30. I'm Veronica Waters. WSB's top stories this half hour. A new trial date will be set for Ayla King, one of dozens of Stop Cop City protesters facing charges under Georgia's racketeering law. The Fulton County judge said that the Court of Appeals had ruled that the court violated Ayla King's rights by barring the public and the media from jury selection. No trial date is officially set as of yet. The city of Atlanta is closing the homeless encampment on Old Wheat Street come Thursday morning. That's the same site where a man was fatally struck inside his tent by a public works truck earlier this year. The people who are unhoused there are being offered a lease at a place for at least a year, along with a life skills coach and someone to help them learn life skills. And a social worker, a caseworker to follow their case. The PSC runoff is underway. The Public Service Commission Democratic primary has a runoff between two people as they vie for the opportunity to run statewide for the PSC. It could have an impact on our utility bills, so this is a much-watched race. The Atlanta School Board has voted unanimously to extend the contract of Superintendent Brian Johnson. The school district is touting Johnson's Back to Basics approach, which includes focusing on math and literacy instruction and closing an estimated $100 million budget gap for the upcoming school year. It's 3:31, time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Let's get your update on the drive now from Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Well, Veronica, got some better news heading up into Midtown through downtown. 2 crashes, both moved off to the right. 175-85 northbound up at 10th Street, exit 250. Then we had one in the back up at Spring Street, exit 249D. All that off to the right, but nonetheless, you're slow from University Avenue. Southbound brake lights filling in on 85 southbound below 400, heading down and toward North Avenue and Cortlandt Street. If you are making your way on the northeast side, 85 northbound leaving 285 up toward the Duluth area. Better news, long-standing crash finally cleared at Indian Trail Road, exit 101, but still slow from 285 Spaghetti Junction out of Doraville there. And on the south side, heads up, all lanes still shut down, has been for hours in Butts County, 75 northbound, Highway 16, exit 205. Traffic forced off there, can re-enter 75 north, but it has cooked that ride for quite a while. Go ahead, use Highway 42 as an alternate. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy and hot through this afternoon, high 94, lows tonight in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, an isolated pop-up shower possible, otherwise partly cloudy, high 93. A few pop-up showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday, high 92.
It's 92 degrees right now in Milton. We're seeing 92 in Gainesville, and it's 94 on Peachtree Street in Midtown Atlanta at 3:33. More news at 4 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
The guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate is the easiest way to sell your home. Now you can save time and make the most money and eliminate all hassles this summer. Hey, Sean Hannity, Mark Spain Real Estate can sell your home with the strongest all-cash offer in the industry and help you move on your timeline. With over 67,000 satisfied clients, you can trust the most experienced real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home fast. Go to markspain.com and start packing.
What is All Care? All Care is expert urgent care and primary care under a single roof, offering convenience and continuity for your healthcare needs. All Care is a team of physicians and clinicians who know you and your medical history, so they can provide the personalized care you deserve. And with both family and immediate care services offered 7 days a week, All Care means seeing your doctor on your schedule. 15 convenient locations, same-day appointments, and walk-ins welcome. Remember, urgent care plus primary care equals All Care. Learn more at allcare-ga.com.
Motorcycle riders know that a distracted driver can knock you down. It's nice to know that Steel Horse Law can pick you back up. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler for Steel Horse Law, the Stein and Karen Law Group. In the worst possible scenario, when someone causes you to lay your bike down, Steel Horse Law will get you the best possible settlement. Their name strikes fear in the heart of big insurance companies because Steel Horse Law is respected and will make them pay. Visit steelhorselaw.com.
Hi, this is Candace from Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. But today, instead of giving you a home remodeling tip, my tip is don't just take my word for it. For over 20 years, you've heard me on the radio sharing remodeling advice. But if you really want to know what sets Exovations apart, go read our reviews. At exovations.com, you'll find hundreds of real stories from real homeowners who have trusted us with their exterior remodeling projects. From decks, siding, windows, doors, paint, roofing, porticos, and so much more. You'll see words like amazing work, incredible experience from start to finish, and again, stress-free. That's not just what we say, it's what our customers say. So yes, I'm Candace from Exovations, but don't just listen to me. Listen to our reviews. At Exovations, we do projects on time, on budget, and without all that stress. Google Exovations or visit EXOVATIONS.com.
I'm Brian Parks, head of commercial banking in Atlanta for Ameris Bank. I've been in banking for over 30 years, and my team and I know that businesses have the best results when they work with local bankers who know the Atlanta market. Bankers who will work to understand your business operations and bring good ideas to the table. At Ameris Bank, we do that. I invite you to reach out so we can start a conversation. Visit amerisbank.com/yourbusiness or a local branch near you. Ameris Bank, fiercely yours, member FDIC.
Yeah, Eric, will you talk about music for a half hour? Why don't you get to the BS, man? Why don't you get to the BS? The BS that's being spewed, the BS that's being bought, the BS that's being given, and the BS that's being received. Come on, Eric, this is talk radio. You talk about music for a half. Why aren't you talking about the BS, man? I want to argue about the lies that everybody is telling me from all sides. That's why I tune into talk radio. I mean, I haven't realized yet that every single one of them is lying to me, and I enjoy taking sides. And I also love to listen to people who disagree with me so I can condemn them. Come on, Eric. What in the hell? Who cares about Black Sabbath? When are you going to cover the BS?
Open the phone lines up, Eric.
Let's
Let's give our side.
Hey,
Bondi live.
hey, which aspect of the BS are you buying into and rebelling against?
Pam Bondi.
I will say this. We will get to it. We'll get to the BS.
Elon.
Yeah, we're going to get to the BS. We're going to get to the BS. But first, I have to let you know something you may not know.
What?
Well... something I appreciate that from. You know how somebody, when they really like something, they'll say, that's the best thing since sliced bread. You think, wow, that must be really great. Well, today is the best thing since sliced bread, because I don't know if you know this, but on this date in 1928 was when the first loaf of sliced bread
97 years ago
was. Did I get the date? It was 97 years. 28? Is that 28?
They just tear it off.
Yeah, bread was just like big stuff. You know, I think also
you get it cut at the bakery.
Yeah, they would cut it, but you couldn't buy it sliced. Also, I think that the sliced bread technology very quickly moved into rolls. So it didn't stop there. It was an influencer.
You can't stop bread.
You can't stop bread,
Big bread,
especially when it's sliced.
Ringo Starr is only 12 years older than sliced bread. That's crazy to think
Look
about.
at that. Look at that.
John and I used to go around saying we're bigger than sliced bread.
Pissed everybody off.
And then they burned our records.
He's not older than sliced bread because he's not 97.
Excuse me, sliced bread is 12 years older than Ringo Starr.
Thank you. We got sliced bread, and because
I remember Betty White, when she was alive, she was older than sliced bread.
There you go. Yeah, because she would have been born in like 20,
I got scared when
23 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, hey, when you're bitching and moaning about your life, this is something you may have forgotten, the convenience of sliced bread. It's terrible for you.
I can't have bread because I'm gluten.
Yeah, it turns out it's pretty terrible for you.
No,
Still
it's
better.
not terrible.
Oh, it's terrible.
Here
it's
it is,
pumped
'cause
full
it's
of
enriched.
preservatives and crap.
Yeah, because it's
like
full
all
of
food.
yeah, exactly, Tim. It's full of garbage.
You make
Make
your
it
own.
yourself, it's not terrible.
You make it your own. You're not making sliced bread. You got to slice it yourself.
But you have to use non-enriched flour to make it.
All right, I'm not going to argue with that. I
Unbleached.
don't know.
Unbleached.
I have no idea. But
Bleach isn't good to eat.
No.
Do you want to eat bleach?
So we started like a PSA here.
What about if you have the flu?
Yeah, what if we had what if we had like light that we could shoot up into our
light infused bread.
The bleach
yes,
light.
the bleach light.
What?
None of us never get sick again. So the answer is
That's good.
possibly yes. So why aren't I
Also,
talking
we need
about
to invent
BS?
dinosaurs so we can get their blood so that we can cure cancer from their dinosaur blood.
Is that how you spent
that's-
that weekend? Is that how did you take the kids to see Jurassic nonsense?
No, I actually haven't had the kids for like 3 weeks.
Oh my God, what's going on?
They've been taken from me.
Has the Baltimore version of DFAX stepped in?
She's
finally?
broken up about it.
Yeah, Pat, you can see. I've never seen her so.
I'm fine. I don't care.
I've never seen her so upset.
Alpharetta Annie's real.
Yeah. What are they?
I don't know where they are.
Are they off on a Wisconsin summer vacation or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
that's what I
So
figured.
yeah, because I had them for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because Travis was gallivanting around
Mm-hmm.
in Wisconsin and then Alaska, and then he took them forever, and now they're in Wisconsin.
Okay, so I know that you had them for 3 weeks because you started to lose a little bit of your hair from pulling your hair out. So
Yeah.
I think that they left just in time because you're not bald.
I do miss them, which is weird.
Yeah, of course you miss them. Absence.
It's weird to miss your kids. My kid's been gone
It's
for almost a
strange.
week. Yeah, it's so strange to miss them.
Because when they're there, you're like, oh my God, how can I get away from you?
Yeah.
Absence
And then
makes
when
the
they're gone,
heart.
you're like, well, where are they?
I'm going to try so hard to say this one more time. Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Who cares what you're saying?
Apparently, this has become obvious to me.
I love
I need to make sure you all hear me say the absence makes the heart go fonder.
I just would like to be able to finish every once in a while. That's okay. That's okay. Listen,
asking a lot.
hey, look, I'm still got that buzz
Happens to
of
everybody.
the birthday of 249th birthday of the United States of America.
I
I'm
was
still
in the
on
birthplace.
that buzz. Yeah, you were in Philadelphia, and you have no interest whatsoever. You told me you were in Independence Hall. I just didn't get it. What is there to
Okay.
get? What is
Now
there to
listen.
get?
Listen,
George Washington was standing right where you are at one point.
BFD,
That's it.
Whatever. I'm sure I've walked on places where famous people have walked. That's not
He's
important.
not
to me.
famous. He's not famous like the way people are famous now. He actually
He did something. He's a founding father.
that made this a great
A lot of
country
people
happen.
have did something. Okay,
I walked
anyway,
in
what
Joey
I
Buttafuoco's yard.
See, that's iconoclast.
Yes.
what I did find out was my whole thing with it wasn't Independence Hall that I was not impressed with, which at first because I actually wasn't. It was like, okay, cool, great. Now moving on.
Yeah.
But the Liberty Bell. So I was like, who, what, why, what is this? Why is it broken? Why is that used as a symbol of anything? I don't understand. And then I did some Googling, and then we looked at it and stuff, and I got some more information, and now at least I understand.
Okay, here's the deal. The difference between sometimes people ask this question, Eric, what is the difference between you and Autumn Fisher? And I would say one of them is that when I walked into that room at Independence Hall, I couldn't speak. I just stood there. I was just like, I can't believe that Benjamin Franklin was in this room. I just, all the people. Now, I hadn't moved to Georgia yet, so I wasn't thinking about Button Gwinnett. But
the most important founding
That's
father.
that's when I was speechless. I was like, Button was here.
Button was here long before the water tower. So
That is great.
I just stood there, just not believing that I was in the exact same room where Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, who came in and out.
Same place where Trump came down the escalator, Independence Hall, too.
Is that where it was? Do they have an escalator now?
Independence Hall.
I think it was.
even have one.
I think it was Ben Franklin who first came down that escalator.
Yeah, he
And
invented the escalator.
He did. First he invented it, and then people were afraid to get on it, so he took the first ride to show that.
Don't talk about who powered it.
No, I don't.
Oh no.
That's a controversial.
I don't want to get into that. So yeah, that's the difference. The fact that I appreciate the hell out of the psychosis being shown in the movie Taxi Driver, and Autumn absolutely is bored by it, and also that I was awed by that room, and Autumn got in there and went, "Okay, nice curtains. What's
Joe
next?"
was very into it.
Wow, good. I'm glad
He
there's
had like
some.
goosebumps. He read the things. He was talking to a park ranger who was giving us information and told a very interesting story about something that happened in this room. And
Yeah, it's probably the same story I heard back in the '90s, but
could be.
yeah.
Guys are into
New park
history.
ranger. Yeah.
Guys are into
Everybody-
history more than women are, right?
Yeah, well, guys
Yeah,
are
for
into things that matter. I'm really
Yeah,
into. I'm really into. I don't
Yeah,
know what
like
it
not
is.
raising their kids and leaving their families.
I'm really into this misogyny punchline thing lately. I just have to warn everybody. I just find it. I go through certain phases, but I'm finding it rather hilarious to portray myself as a misogynist lately. So look for many such
more of this.
much more of this crap coming
Thank
to
you for
you.
the warning. Now I can know what to expect.
Yeah, I just I recognize that people probably tune in. They hear one thing. Oh, look at this guy.
Oh, it's one of those kind of shows, huh?
One of them radio guys.
Women are dumb.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pretend I don't like this show. Like back. Everybody would pretend they didn't like the regular guys, and the ratings would come in. It's like, well, somebody's lying.
You're gonna like this. I got a message from a 29-year-old saying how much they love the show. They got into it during the pandemic and haven't stopped listening since.
Hopefully, they've gotten out of their house, though. I hope they've rejoined
Oh yeah,
society.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Back to engaging with society again. Well, that's awesome to know.
Yeah.
Listen. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. There's plenty of people that this show would appeal to. But anyway, I'm in a good mood because my country just turned 249 years old.
Long in the tooth.
Little long in the tooth.
I was going to say really quick, so many of these park rangers that have tons of wealth of information about the founding of the country and everything, there's got to be a little bit of spectrum-y from all these people.
Well, first of all, Autumn, you have to tell the same story 5 times a day to a group. I don't care. Any kind of tour guide has
Sure.
to have
A little bit of that.
A little. I mean, how you can just keep telling
It was
the
a
same.
Thursday afternoon, and
and like the time I'm there, it's like, wow, that was mesmerizing. Like,
Right.
so they're not phoning it in. So there's
Same
a
day,
little
same thing
bit.
every-
There's a little bit of that there. I think in any good tour guide.
You're by the pool.
You're relaxing.
You're sipping a drink.
Someone brings you a towel.
Adjust the umbrella.
Sound like a fantasy?
It's not if you win $1,000 from WSB.
It's WSB's $1,000 Thursdays this Thursday.
Listen for the keyword at 9, 10, and 11 a.m. and 12, 1, 2, and 3 p.m.
Enter the keyword at WSBRadio.com or the WSB app within that hour, and you could win $1,000. Get all the info at WSBRadio.com.
$1,000 Thursdays
from 95.5 WSB.
where Atlanta wins.
Heavy rain, high winds, huge hail. Yes, Atlanta, we're in storm season. It's Mark Aram here. You might be faced with a roof repair or a replacement. Do not gamble with any contractor, and there are hundreds of roofers with little to no experience. I want you to trust the experts at Dr. Roof. Trusted name in roofing for over 35 years and backed by their industry-leading warranties. Dr. Roof doesn't cut corners. They're the best at protecting your biggest investment. Dr. Roof, done right, guaranteed.
Hi, I'm Trisha, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, where we're all about you, your style, your budget, your dream engagement ring. Are you looking for a style that's classic, modern, vintage, or something in between? Not sure? At Shane Company, we're here to help. We have so much style under one roof because a friend knows you like options. Drop by or visit us at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hey folks, it's Scott Slade. You've heard me talk for years about how Myland is saving homeowners hundreds, even thousands of dollars every month. Well, here's something that comes up often. Does it make sense to refinance your mortgage and pay off high-interest credit card debt? Well, even if you have a low interest rate on your mortgage, that isn't helping you if you're carrying credit card debt month to month. Myland sees this every day where people call in and wish they had done something sooner. Holding on and making minimum payments on your credit cards is only making the situation worse. There isn't one solution for everyone, which is why I trust and believe in my friends at Myland. They'll shoot straight and give you an honest assessment for you and your family at no cost. Do yourself a favor. Give Myland a call. Find out how much you could be saving. 770-817-2000. Call 770-817-2000. Online, it's myland.com. Spelled it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS and Georgia Residential Mortgage Licensee 148769, located at 8995 West Side Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. Myland is an equal housing lender.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
It's July, and that means pool days, summer celebrations, and of course, heat. Georgia heat is brutal. Don't let your home be a sauna. Coolray has the perfect solution to keep you cool this summer. Coolray is offering you $2,250 in rebates and free attic insulation when you purchase your new complete carrier system. You know, proper insulation is like a sidekick for your HVAC, keeping cool air in and hot air out. Call or go online to Coolray.com to book your appointment today. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
I got some sun over the weekend.
I haven't seen you with this much color in a long time.
It blended quite well. Last night, it looked like I was like, should I even go into work? Like last night, it looked like it was like bad, and then it kind of blended in a little bit.
How does it do that?
It didn't look so freaky.
key is
this morning when I woke up.
The key is always doing the touch test, right? So if you go and like push
Yeah.
your fingers into the skin.
Oh yeah,
if
your
it-
skin's like a hypercolor T-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like a yellowish color. If it turns that yellowish color, then
Yeah.
you burned yourself really bad.
Well, you can't do that if you fall asleep, which I think is what happened with me. Fell asleep for a little while and then I woke up. But yeah, I was a little worried. I was like, oh, this is the kind of thing that can kill you. I don't want vanity.
Did you blister?
No. But it looked like it was right
Okay.
there on the edge. You know, it looked like it was really on the edge. And I was a little bit worried that I'd done myself in. But woke up this morning. This is what happens when you're my age. It used to be like at the beginning of the summer, I would burn a little bit, and then that would turn into this kind of like sort of a brown little bit, kind of. And but then as I got older, it was just I'm either shock white or beet red. And that's about it. Like the red will just be red until the red goes away. It just doesn't ever just kind of like settle into something a slightly warmer brown, something along those lines. But that's my fate. That's what I'm stuck with. You mentioned Ringo Starr is how old? 85?
He's 85 today, and he put this on his socials earlier.
Did he say Eric? Did he say Eric? This is for you. I know you spent a lot of money and time with a little outfit I used to be with.
Yeah. You know what's happening? On Monday, my birthday. What does that mean? It means at noon, wherever you are, all over the world, anywhere, you go, peace and love. That's my gift from you. Thank you. And this is my gift to you. Peace and love.
No autographs.
Yeah, no autographs either. And I hate Liverpool.
A little negative.
I'd never go back there for more than a day.
People in Liverpool aren't so fond of you these
Don't
days.
care about them at all. Peace and love. As long as they go out at noon,
Yes, it's
that's
a-
my gift.
That's a piece of love.
Spread the love.
Strange way of putting that. It's my gift to you. Is
No,
that
your gift to me.
From
Yours-
you.
It's
Yeah.
from me. It's
Yeah.
that's your.
So
that's
don't
the-
send me any gifts or autographs requests. They're
I see.
going in your
None. I'm not
trash.
signing any of your crap.
Especially if you're from Liverpool.
And if it's handmade from a child, I'm burning it as an effigy.
Don't send me your drawings or your doodles or any of that
Not
garbage.
interested.
Nope. Send it to Paul.
He's not going to touch it.
He's a sucker.
Yeah, Paul's got a staff that will, put
Yeah.
their put his
He
stamp on
needs
it.
your validation more than me.
He's got an auto pen like your last president.
Well, Ringo's basically like English Nick. He's lived in America for longer
I
than
love
he's
the
lived-
Rams.
Well, he used to love the Raiders, but now
Well,
you
they're
love
gone.
Okay, well,
I like the Rams.
Okay.
Maybe the Chargers. Doesn't. They're L.A., right?
Yes, they are
That's
now
right.
L.A.
Yes,
yeah.
they are.
Go Dodgers.
Very, very good. All right, let's get to some of the BS before we take a break. Elon Musk is, here's what the time. This is the era of BS, right? It doesn't matter. Just say success is Trump won't back down. We obliterated the Iranians' abilities to ever create a nuclear weapon ever again. It doesn't matter what the real facts on the ground are. 6 months to a couple of years, whatever. You just say obliterated and you get it out there. Elon Musk, on the other hand, he posts on X that, because of you, I've started a third party. Well, he's not filed for any paperwork or anything at the point that this is the BS world that we live in. And Trump was asked about the Elon Musk, the America Party.
I think it's ridiculous to start a third party. We have a tremendous success with the Republican Party. The Democrats have lost their way, but it's always been a two-party system. And I think starting a third party just adds to confusion. It really seems to have been developed for two parties. Third parties have never worked. So he can have fun with it, but I think it's ridiculous.
Well, third parties do work in the sense that sometimes if they get enough and they swing an election, one of the two parties by the next election kind of absorbs some of those ideas to try to get some of those voters. So no third party has gotten elected, but third parties have had an unusual amount of influence on the other two parties, and some may argue that MAGA is kind of a third party. MAGA is not naturally Republican, and I will get this before we go to the break. I think the thing that's being missed here is that Trump is letting a faction of MAGA down, represented by Elon, Tucker Carlson, maybe Steve Bannon.
Joe Rogan.
Maybe Joe Rogan. I don't know how long Rogan has thought about these things. But there are people that simply want to kick the neocons out of government. There are people who their main drive in politics as far as what the future is going to be like is no neocons and a 100% reformation of what the intelligence agencies are now. And every president, no matter their rhetoric, seem to end up bombing the same people on the same page. There are, and I hope the America Party becomes this. I stopped voting a long time ago, but I hope the America Party becomes this because it's very, very needed. There are many people in this country who look at the neocons and say, you've never been successful. You've never helped us. You've only harmed us. Why are you still in power? And they're in power because of their intelligence agencies that they're basically in control of. There are people who desperately want a future without neocons and without Palantir. And that's why this party, I think, has some chance of influencing the next couple of elections.
I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade.
Summer is peak hosting season, right? Don't let a grimy house keep you from having company over. It's Chris Chandler, and Wise Guys Pro Wash got my place clean and bright and guest ready in just one day. They handled everything, house and deck, driveway, even my dirty roof, and their soft wash kept everything safe. No paint peel, no damage, just clean. If you got people coming over this summer, be sure Wise Guys Pro Wash comes by first. Mention me, Chris Chandler, for $70 off at wiseguysprowash.com. Book now before they fill up.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
Is that knee, hip, or shoulder pain just not getting any better? Are you stuck in a cycle of steroid shots and now they're talking surgery? Before you go down that road, hit pause for a second. Hey, it's Mark Ehrman. I want to tell you about something that helped a lot of people get their lives back without more meds and without going under the knife. It's QC Kinetics, leaders in regenerative medicine using treatments like advanced cellular therapy and platelet-rich plasma, all designed to actually help your body heal itself. No more masking the pain. This goes right to the root of the problem. Their cellular treatments contain growth factors and healing properties to maximize your own body's ability to heal itself. And this is critical. 92% of patients report satisfaction with the results. That's not just a number. It's peace of mind that you're exploring something that's truly working for people just like you. Real results that let you move easier and live better. Call QC Kinetics today, 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk. News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
It's 4 o'clock. I'm Veronica Waters. The news this hour is brought to you by Hoffman Financial Group. WSB's top local story as temperatures threaten to keep soaring over 100 degrees in Atlanta. The homeless taking up residence at an encampment on Old Wheat Street are being offered new places to stay. The city has secured housing units for everyone there, which will include furniture, supplies, and a dedicated case manager on site. Catherine Bassel is the head of homeless nonprofit Partners for Hope.
An individual can stay there indefinitely if they desire. It will operate like a permanent supportive housing unit. And we have that locked in for the next 12 months. And then we will transition people into their PSH unit if they need to stay long term.
The old Wheat Street camp is where a man was fatally struck inside his tent during a clear out in January. The camp closure comes Thursday morning. It's 94 degrees now in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards has been forecasting partly cloudy skies today with highs in the mid-90s. Tonight it's going to be lows in the mid-70s and mostly clear skies. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. Austell residents give their opinions on a large property tax hike in a public hearing today, and it's one of 3 hearings in all where city officials are sure to get an earful before voting on this increase.
Austell Mayor Ollie Clemens has told residents the city's been running at a deficit for years, and that's why officials are proposing what amounts to a 158% property tax increase. A similar measure failed last year, and this resident says it should this year as well.
Now you're asking us to bail you out. We say again, no, you caused this. Fix it.
Mayor Clemens says he believes the $3 million revenue boost would help move the city away from what he calls a crisis mode for the government. Lisa Nicholas, 95.5 WSB.
The Georgia Appeals Court has upheld a lower court ruling which said county election officials must certify results according to deadlines set in law. Fulton County Superior Court Judge Robert McBurney had ruled in October that no election superintendent of a board of elections could refuse to certify or could abstain from certifying results under any circumstances. The 3-judge panel of the Georgia Court of Appeals has upheld that ruling, saying Julie Adams' contention that the trial court erred by declaring she had a mandatory duty to certify election results is without merit. Authorities say a 27-year-old man was killed after opening fire at a U.S. Border Patrol facility in McAllen, Texas. Police Chief Victor Rodriguez says Ryan Lewis Mosqueda had an assault rifle and was carrying a utility vest when federal agents returned fire.
There were many dozens of rounds fired by the suspect towards a building and towards agents in that building.
Law enforcement say afterward they found another rifle, ammunition, and backpacks that Mosqueda had brought with him. The government is expanding ICE's detention capacity in Georgia and nationwide.
The administration's adding thousands of beds at about 60 additional local, state, and federal facilities through agreements with jails and private contractors. Funding will come from President Trump's massive tax and spending cuts bill, which includes $45 billion for new immigration jails as part of his new immigration and border security policy. Just last month, DOJ approved an immigration expansion at a prison in Folkson, Georgia, which would make it the largest ICE detention center in the country. I'm Bloomberg's Monica Ricks for 95.5 WSB.
Update on a story we've been following from the weekend. A 4-year-old girl who had been trapped under a pontoon boat when it capsized on Lake Oconee has since died. It happened in Putnam County on July 4th. A large wave sent the 12 occupants to the back of the boat in a panic, and it flipped. A cast member of MTV's 16 and Pregnant show is arrested for felony involuntary manslaughter in Floyd County. Now 33 years old, Whitney Purvis is charged with supplying the drug Tranq, which is a mixture of fentanyl and the veterinary anesthesia xylazine, to a man named John Harris, leading to his overdose in February. Purvis's teen son died about a month ago. It's believed to be of natural causes, as reported. It's 4:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. But first, we've got live team coverage of your traffic and weather. Continuing a look at that commute is WSB Triple Team Traffic, starting off with Alex Williams.
Gonna have to throw up the yellow flag for the south side, Veronica. We got a car fire fully engulfed 75 northbound Forest Parkway exit 237. Just the right lane getting by as the delays get worse. Think about Highway 1941, Highway 54, I-675 northbound, some alternates to get around that. I think we also just had some trouble clear 85 northbound between Flat Shoals and I-285. A little slow heading up to the south side perimeter, but it looks like it is improving. And checking on a new slow zone into Cobb County, I-20 westbound, starting to pick up, starting to get very slow, I should say, out of Lithonia. We're going to check on new trouble right around Wesley Chapel Road, exit 68. We also got trouble downtown, and watching that is Andrew Seco.
Trouble indeed. We are looking at a stall. It's blocked in a left lane, 75-85 south, just south of I-20, exit 247. Quick tap of the brakes underway towards East Point. Rest of the way, just some volume north and southbound. We're slow leaving Midtown all the way through downtown on your way towards I-20 northbound. You'll see the brake lights as you pass University Avenue, exit 244. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy and hot today, high 94, lows tonight in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds along with an isolated pop-up shower, high 93. A few pop-up storms on Wednesday, high 92.
It's 95 degrees right now in Clarkston, 93 in Norcross, and it's 95 right now in Midtown Atlanta at 4:05. More news coming up at 4:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 2 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. Supposedly, the death date of the universe has been revealed by scientists.
When?
Hold on, let me get a calendar.
Okay, do you have one that goes 7 billion years?
I mean, I could just keep scrolling on my phone,
yeah, you
maybe?
can extrapolate it
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
So about 7 billion years from now. Let me click this and make sure.
I thought it was 33 billion years.
I'm doing it off of memory, so that could be wrong. Suggest the universe will reach a peak size, blah, blah, blah. Where is it? Boy, nothing like reading when you're on the radio.
I think it's great. People love this.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Boy, oh boy, these are good-looking guys.
Will occur, oh no, you're right, 33.3 billion years. So you got
we got
a
time.
while.
We're good.
I'll be all right.
Yeah,
We're
you got.
good.
Well, no, you're going to die long before. Isn't that funny?
That's what I mean. It's not going to affect me.
That's what I think is hilarious. Is that we're all like, if an asteroid's heading toward us, it's like, oh, it's going to miss us. Phew. Yeah, I know I'm going to die before it comes around again. I just didn't want to die that way.
Right.
I just don't want that to happen. Oh yeah, I recognize. Oh, it's fine. I'll be long dead before 33 billion years. I just didn't want it to happen. When I was 85.
The way it's described to how we would all die in 33 billion years, how the planet dies, is basically like a rubber band being expanded too much to the point where it just breaks.
Yeah, but that's the whole universe.
Yeah,
it's not
that's
the planet Earth will be long gone in about I think 5 billion years or something like that. The sun is going to expand so much that it swallows the Earth, and then it's going to
hungry sun.
It's going to pull back into a red dwarf, I think.
Well, it'll get Mercury first, right?
Well, yeah, if it's going to get
No.
in Venus,
It's
I
going to
think
swerve
probably.
around that.
Okay. Well, I just want to know if it's in retrograde, if it could evaporate, or like get away from the sun.
All of the astrology is going to be seen as ridiculous at this time.
Yeah, you would say that as a
Of
Gemini.
course, as an anti,
as a denier,
As a Gemini.
as a Gemini denier, astrology denier that I am.
It's the duality of your personality.
Certainly it is, and also correct. So yeah, I think it goes back and becomes like a red dwarf or something like that. So we'll be long gone.
And then a white dwarf, and then maybe a black hole.
And then who knows? Yeah, I mean the sky is the limit, as they say. But I think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious that scientists act like they know this stuff. We're a wheel within a wheel within a wheel. And every time we have a more powerful telescope, we find out all the things that we thought aren't quite, they may still generally be true. I mean, I guess there was a Big Bang, but we don't know if it was really the beginning. So now they're like, oh yeah, we know the certain death date. They have no idea. People still argue based on this death date is when you have the Great Shrink. So basically, your rubber band breaks and then everything comes back together
It just
into a
contracts,
singularity.
yeah.
But
But it vibrates when
there are plenty of people who don't believe that that's going to be the way that it goes down. Some people think there's going to be a heat death, which sounds like it's all going to end in fire, but it actually means there's no more heat left and it just goes cold.
Well, I can handle the cold.
Yeah, I know. I like the cold as well.
Yeah, I have a scarf and a hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can always put on a scarf. You can't
and a
take off
sweater.
your skin.
You just turn the heater on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that what you want to do?
You have to turn
Yeah, just turn on the heat. What's the
Turn
big
on
deal?
the-
Close your
what's it-
windows.
Have
We got
fun,
it.
for heaven's sakes. So I wouldn't worry
Christmas
about
time
it.
forever.
But I don't know, if you're one of these worrying types, you can add this to your
for the
33 billion years from now.
Yeah, for the anxious types out there, when you see a story like that, boy.
Can I get a prescription for Xanax for 2 billion years?
Isn't that thing, there's something that's going to miss us pretty soon? Asophides or something like that they thought was going to, it has some kind of chance to
That's the one that's supposed to
hit us.
2031? It's
I
supposed
believe
to go
something
between
like
us and the moon, is what they're saying.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. That ought to be quite a
but
quite a
it's the
show.
moon.
Yeah, I'm tired of the moon too.
Well, it just lands there. Are we going to be able to see it?
Well, if it's between us and the moon, I would imagine that we're going to be able to see it. It's an asteroid. Well, why you have trouble seeing it? You just don't want to see it?
I don't want to know about it. I just
You know,
wanna
there is like
pretend it's
66,000 miles to play with there between us
too
and the
close. Well, what if it hits the moon and creates like this big spectacle, though, so we can all see it on Earth? Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be the last thing we ever see, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Because isn't it? Where's it all? Gravity's going to pull it all back down here,
will it
is
be
it not? Sure, it will be cool.
All right. Well,
It will be cool, but wouldn't things
YOLO.
start if we lost the moon? Wouldn't we start noticing like tides would go crazy and like we'd be in trouble? I think.
No more full moons.
that's a good bet.
I don't think we could exist without the moon. It's like a dumb friend. Not all that inspirational, but you
I'm
need
just
it.
here keeping your tides normal.
I just Googled it.
Yes.
It is the pull of the moon's gravity on the Earth that holds our planet in place. Without the moon stabilizing our tilt, it is possible that the Earth's tilt
see?
could vary widely. It would move from no tilt, which means no seasons, to a large tilt, which means extreme weather and even ice ages.
How about that? Well, now you want to take it back about wanting it to hit the moon? You don't want it to hit the moon. You might as well hit us. Come between us and the moon.
Whoa, we'll still be alive without the moon.
No, we won't.
Well, you might not be alive. Again, close your windows, maybe seal up some cracks,
Yeah.
put on a sweater. You'll be
Get some wood.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what.
And then if it gets hot, take those things off,
Uh-huh.
and then you're cooler.
I'll tell you what
know?
would happen.
Layers.
What
Yeah,
would happen is we would become a tougher people.
Sure we would.
Without the moon. It's really kind of a codependent relationship with
Coddled
the moon.
us for too long.
It really has.
Absolutely, yes. It's time for us to recognize that we do live in a world with seasons. Imagine
The
that.
no moon movement.
Well, I'm for the moon. I would be an anti no moon movement person.
Oh, see, I thought you were saying we should get rid of the moon to make us more resilient.
No, I'm
tougher.
just saying. No, you're right. You're right. I was making that point, but just to be ridiculous to say that your life is going to get harsher without the moon. I can't
maybe
believe
we
that
need
this
that
is
as a
something that the
society.
two parties are arguing about.
The American
We
Party.
should have-
The moon is the least important object in the entire universe.
Why you got to get rid of the moon? Well, it doesn't
Well,
show good loyalty.
It's here illegally.
It doesn't have a border, and it doesn't have a fence, so I don't want it. Get rid of it.
And I heard AOC is like, we got to keep the moon because.
Well, she's an idiot.
We need the moon. Do you realize the tilt that would happen on Earth if
She-
we didn't have the moon?
She put on her
I
X.
Googled it.
She put on her X account that if an asteroid hits the moon, guys, we'll be able to catch the moon cheese.
She just wants moon money.
Is that what it is?
She's gonna pass a bill. Don't look at the moon. Don't threaten the moon, and then everybody be
Please,
paying
if
out
we're
the butt.
talking about who's doing things for money,
Yeah.
I think it's you.
Buy
right,
my
you too.
perfume, by the way. You'll smell really good.
I think.
Ew, I would never
Have
do
you bought
that
the Trump
because I don't
perfume,
want to smell
AOC?
like old money.
Oh, I wouldn't mind smelling like old money.
Yeah, same
Being
here.
an old guy like I am, I like smelling like
Dusty
old money.
old money.
Dusty old money. People go, he smells like old money, and then everybody else would go, yeah, it's kind of gross, but it's kind of cool too. He's,
Yeah.
he's,
It kind of reminds me of my grandparents.
yeah, and they had like 4 houses.
All in a trust so you don't get hit with a capital gains tax when you
Oh,
get it.
it's that. Yeah, these are the things that we
What?
have to worry about. Yes, yeah, AOC, huh?
I don't get it.
What? What is
What?
she worth? What's her net worth?
Let's see.
Look it up.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Well, it's publicly available, I would imagine. She's
Wanted her to be really
wouldn't
jerky and sassy and grouchy.
She's like, why? You think I'm going to try to date her if she has enough money? Wouldn't you like to know?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Oh wow. Well, that's
Your
way off.
mom.
You got to remember these estimates sometimes are on the internet.
Yeah,
Are,
they said you were
Based on
worth 3
yours.
million, right, or 10 million?
no, I was somewhere, depending on where you look. I was
Yeah.
either worth 60,000 or 11 million.
Okay.
The truth, by the way, is somewhere in the middle.
You're revealing too much, Eric.
Well, it's somewhere above 60,000 and somewhere below 11
That's a
million.
lot of details. People are going to find out.
Yeah, what
They're
are they
gonna
do?
know.
What are
Mine's
they gonna do?
below both of those numbers.
That's why you're so good, because as I've told you, every time management comes to me and says, should we give the doctrinaires a raise, I say, absolutely not. I want them hungry.
Yep.
I want
Just
them
like that's because the
fighting.
moon.
Like the moon. I don't want,
The
no.
moon keeps us weak.
I don't want them to become codependent like the moon and the earth.
Gemini says she's worth about $24,000. And
Get
then
outta here.
Open Secret says that as of 2018, she's worth negative $8,500.
Well, there you go. You want her in charge of the
Student loans.
budget. Yeah. She should be in charge of every budget. What the hell? We're $36 trillion in debt. Maybe this is the time for AOC. Someone who has no idea how to keep their budget together. I find that she hasn't written a book yet. So the thing about AOC or someone like that is they always have that waiting, right? They've always got the book, and the way that publishers are, they don't really care how many people buy the book. It's kind of their way of supporting the politicians that they like. So somebody will step up with like a $5 million, offer, for her to write a book or something like that. And then she either will or won't make it back. What happens is these politicians, they write books. Nobody reads them, but like think tanks buy 1,000, and then some other thing buys, and they make it look like everybody cares what this person has to say. I mean, I can't tell you how many homes I've been in, including mine, that have the Clinton autobiography on the shelf. I haven't read it, and I suspect no one in any of these other homes has read it. So it becomes kind of a weird kind of way to make money and support the people that you like. What are you saying, Eric? You supported Clinton? My wife bought it for me, all right. What was I supposed to do? Yell at her? I did better.
You should have.
Passive aggressive. It's been sitting on the bookshelf now for, I don't know, 20 years.
Is it the Back to Work book?
No, it's
Clinton
the gold one. It's
the one where his legs are wide open on the cover.
It's like got a gold kind of like, I don't know.
My Life or something.
I've never really looked at it, but he got our money, so there you go. Hello to Alex Williams. Alex says there's a car fire on 75 in Forest Park.
Yeah, it's a travel advisory here, Eric. 75 northbound Forest Parkway, exit 237. Only a right lane getting by this car fire cleanup. They got it doused, but nonetheless, it has jammed the ride back toward Terra Boulevard. Go ahead, use Terra Boulevard, which is 1941. You can use Highway 54, even 675 north as an alternates. For some reason, police holding left lane southbound, although not really a big reason, a need for it. 75 southbound at Forest Parkway, so that's adding to the delays out of Hateville. And we got a new left lane crash in Union City, 85 northbound Flat Shoals Road, exit 66. And that is starting to cause brake lights back before Highway 138. We found the reason for the brake lights on I-20 in DeKalb County, Andrew Seco.
Watching a big rig sit there in the right lane of the jam cam I-20 westbound at Wesley Chapel Road. That's exit 68. Already seen the brake lights back towards the mall of Stonecrest. They catch you once you get past Evans Mill Road, exit number 74. And on the west side, in and out of Lithia Springs, just some scattered volume. Nothing to write home about. I-20 east and westbound. You see the brake lights either direction from Lee Road down towards 285. This is sponsored by the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. The 2025 FIFA Club World Cup is coming to Atlanta. Get ready for a global soccer show down at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Don't just watch history, be there. Get tickets at FIFA.com/tickets. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Is your summer vacation going to be a week at the beach or a week in the backyard standing in the kiddie pool?
If you listen to 95.5 WSB, that week at the beach could be yours. It's $1,000 Thursdays on WSB.
Your chance to win $1,000 every hour between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. on Thursdays.
Listen for the keyword. Enter the keyword at WSBradio.com or on the WSB app within that hour.
Get all the info at WSBradio.com.
$1,000 Thursdays this Thursday.
From 95.5 WSB.
Where Atlanta wins.
Summer is here, so if you're thinking about selling your home, now is the time. With Mark Spain Real Estate's guaranteed offer, you can sell your home quickly and for maximum value. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. You can skip all the hassles of a traditional home sale and sell your home quickly without the stress of showings, open houses, or costly repairs. Mark Spain Real Estate's guaranteed all-cash offer allows you to sell your home in as little as 21 days and move when you're ready. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
If you're seeing cracks in the walls upstairs, downstairs, or outside, maybe even a door not closing, call the Foundation Repair Specialist. Hi, it's Mark Beckham here with Atlanta Ramjack, and we are your leading foundation repair experts. Set up your free estimate right now at atlantaramjack.com.
It's summer in Georgia, pool days, backyard barbecues, and that sweltering southern heat. You know, the inside of your home shouldn't feel like a sauna. Dave Baker here for Coolray Heating and Cooling, Plumbing and Electrical. You can turn your house into the ultimate cool escape with Coolray. Right now, get up to $2,250 in rebates plus free attic installation when you upgrade your HVAC to a complete Carrier system. Proper installation is like a sidekick for your HVAC, keeping cool air in and hot air out. And don't forget your plumbing this summer. For a limited time, get a $99 water heater flush to ensure your hot water stays running all summer long. No surprises during those morning showers. From cool comfort to smooth flowing plumbing, trust the Coolray team that's kept Georgia homes running for decades. Simply visit Coolray.com today to schedule your appointment. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Cancer upends your life.
we're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer. With experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
Not everything in life comes with a guarantee, but for premium local farm fresh sod that comes with a 1-year guarantee, family owned and operated NG Turf is the only grower to consider. NG Turf sells direct to homeowners. Get your sod from a certified turf professional at ngturf.com.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Retire Ready with David Nicholas of Nicholas Wealth Management Saturday at 6 to get answers to your retirement. Nicholas Wealth is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies.
A DUI conviction is life-changing with serious ramifications both personally and professionally. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler. Make the smart call to George Stein, the DUI lawyer. You've got a 30-day deadline to save your license. Go to georgestein.com. A lot of interesting things that I read over the long weekend. Some things shocked and surprised me. Well, some things shocked me, and some things surprised me. Very rarely did they both happen in one story.
The 33 billion years, sure, that was probably in the shock or surprise.
Well, that shocked me because I thought that the universe was going to end much quicker than that.
It might still.
Yeah. I don't really think we have any idea when the universe started, ends, looks like. I think we know I think what we know about the reality of the universe that's out there, you could fit inside of a thumbnail. I just don't think that we know a whole hell of a lot. But that's okay. We got to keep on going, though. Pretty soon, that thumbnail will be overflowing with information. But I read this and kind of surprised me. The headline is, nearly half of America's murderers get away with it. Were you guys aware of this?
No.
I thought it was like at 85% you got nabbed if you murdered somebody.
Is that people not getting caught, or is that people getting off?
You know what? That's a good question. That's a
little
good.
bit of both.
It's probably a little bit of both.
Sure.
But
That's why they do it.
well, first of all, if they don't, I think it's more about not getting caught. Because
Yeah.
if a jury says you didn't do it, then you can't go on and say, "Oh, that guy got away with murder."
Right.
We all made jokes about OJ, but in reality, a jury said not guilty. So that's the reality. So I would imagine that most of these are just. A lot of police departments, they don't really have the wherewithal. You get murdered in some place that doesn't have like a top-line police department. And they're like, we asked a few people.
Look here, we got ourselves a dead body.
Well, off to dinner.
And if you think about it, that's a lot of area in the United States that maybe doesn't have a top-line police department.
Right.
And so they don't have much of a budget. Like, we talked to everybody you worked with. We didn't find out anything.
They really specify in this article, they're talking about Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville, Kentucky is one of the worst places.
Yeah, don't get murdered in Louisville.
Louisville.
Murder in Louisville.
Murder in Louisville.
If you're going to.
Oh, if you're going to, yeah.
Good point, George.
By the way, the Von Hessler doctrine says don't do it. But if you were
we
considering
understand that you get angry with people sometimes here in Louisville, and sometimes people just deserve it.
Yeah, that's right. So we don't really
What were
check.
they doing to get themselves murdered?
Right. These are the attitudes that prevail. And that was like Louisville must have just a horrible police department. But they really were but this goes on to extrapolate out that it is the nation. It's it's like 50%, half of murder. The people who murder get away with it.
Or people go missing and you don't know what happened to them.
That's true.
That could be a lot of that could be murder and.
Well, you can't speculate in a study like this.
No.
You can't say, well, a lot of people are missing, so possibly. I imagine you could probably quantify it in some sort of percentage. Potential percentage.
In the study they asked the right adults the questions that they needed to be asked.
Meaning like,
well, you know,
what do you want them to ask the adults? Adults.
Sometimes
DOLTS, adults.
With these studies, it'll always be like, oh, we asked 2,500 adults what they thought about the murder rates in
I
America.
ain't killed nobody. Why are you asking?
No. I don't think I think that they're going on records.
Yeah, it's like maybe they asked their.
They're going on record. So we can definitely know through death certificates how many people died, and then we can look at police records to see how many.
There ain't nothing in my woods.
No need to go out there.
Thank
You'd
you.
be wasting your time to be digging at
Yeah.
anything. I just don't want.
I'll
I don't want you
not,
to.
I'll tell you where not to look.
Yeah, I just my woods,
My backyard.
nothing back there.
That pile of tools over there with the red stuff on it,
Yeah.
they ain't been cleaned yet. It's rust.
No need to worry about that.
But sometimes you'll hear about people robbing a bank, and I'm thinking like, why doesn't everybody who robs a bank eventually get caught? But I guess the answer is no, or else people wouldn't rob banks. You'd think, you're walking in, you're walking out with a $500,000 or whatever the hell it is. You'd think that you'd be caught. Most of the time, people still rob banks. See how many people during the break, George Clark, how many people rob banks and get away with it, as opposed to murdering? Well, it's a good thing. I don't enjoy murder. I don't want to do it or receive it.
Or see it.
Yeah, I don't. It's not my thing. But apparently, it's quite popular. It's quite popular with many people. It's just another thing I don't understand about the society I live in.
And if you go to Kentucky, watch out, especially.
If you go to Kentucky, just keep driving. Alex Williams says I-75 is a rough ride in Clayton County.
Yeah, no fun, all due to this travel advisory area. Big rig fire cleanup, 75 northbound Forest Parkway, exit 237. Only a right lane getting by. You're stacked up back to Terre Boulevard. Take Terre Boulevard, Highway 54, 675 north is some alternates. Travel advisory number 2, crash in 2 left lanes. 85 northbound at Flat Shoals Road, exit 66. Highway 29 will get you around that. And now we got some big rig trouble, 285 westbound, the inner loop at Riverdale Road, knocking out a right center lane. Checking the ride to the northern suburbs with the help of Andrew Seco.
Seeing some volume, 85 northbound, leaving Norcross. The brake light's taking you from 285 up towards Pleasant Hill Road, exit 104. Seeing some extra stoppage heading into Roswell. Usually don't see this time of day. 400 southbound starting to crowd in towards Holcomb Bridge Road, exit number 7. And just the usual volume, 75 north and southbound between Kennesaw through Marietta all the way down to Smyrna Vinings. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage on any age system, make, or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Y'all, it's Eric. I know some of you are concerned about tariff prices impacting things in your lives, including kitchen remodels. Well, listen to this. You can book an appointment this month with Frugal Kitchens and get the Frugal Price Lock. They will lock you into pre-tariff prices. All you got to do is Google Frugal Kitchens for details, and they're offering 0% financing. You want your kitchen remodeled, you want to add value to your home, you're worried about tariffs, here's your opportunity. Google Frugal Kitchens. Start that kitchen redesign today.
This is Scott Slade, and it's hard to believe I've been on the radio in Atlanta for 41 years. And for most of those years, the great people at Ragsdale Heating and Air have been taking care of their customers. Customers like me, with many employees with the company for 10, 20, even 30 years. When you get that kind of continued dedication to real service from employees who really care, it pays off. Witness over 10,000 five-star reviews from their many years of business. If your AC isn't working right, click RagsdaleAir.com or call them. Going on 3 decades, Ragsdale is the name I know you can trust.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Save on select bags of Doritos, Cheetos, or Tostitos. Mix and match your favorite flavors and buy 2, get 3 free with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
That spot on the ceiling, it's only gonna get worse. Hey, it's Dave Baker from my experts at Finley Roofing, the roof guys. Finley now has 0% financing available, so it's even easier to get your roof replaced. FinleyRoofing.com.
Hi, I'm Brian, your friend and jeweler here at Shane Company. Come on in, feel at home, and let's find your dream engagement ring. I'm proud to work for a company that puts customers first and lets them shop the way they want to. See, we believe shopping for an engagement ring should be fun, without any of the pressure. We don't work on commission, so finding your dream ring is truly on your terms. We'll be right by your side as your friend and jeweler to help you find a ring more beautiful than you imagined and stick to your budget too. We have all of the styles and all of the smiles. You can even watch our in-house jewelers working their magic inside your neighborhood store. It's that kind of care and craftsmanship that makes Shane Company's free lifetime warranty the best in the business, saving you thousands over time and giving you peace of mind. No appointment necessary, or check us out at shaneco.com. Because a friend knows when you're ready, you're ready. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 4:30. I'm Veronica Waters. News this half hour is brought to you by QC Kinetics. WSB's top local story: a mistrial is declared for one of the defendants facing charges in a racketeering case tied to protests about the Atlanta Public Safety Training Center. Ayla King is accused of trespassing on property off Key Road and Constitution back in March of 2024. Now, while King was granted a request for a speedy trial scheduled to begin today, Judge Kevin Farmer in Fulton County has informed the jury of the mistrial.
The court has declared a mistrial in this motion. At this time, it is the court's intention to bring in another jury panel and begin selection new.
A court of appeals told the judge the news media and public should not have been excluded from jury selection, which was done by the previous judge. A new trial will be set for King with a new jury pool, possibly this fall. Their lawyer says he's going to file a motion to bar further prosecution, citing double jeopardy. Citing dangerous heat, the city of Atlanta announces new plans to close the homeless encampment on Old Wheat Street. That's where Cornelius Taylor was run over in his tent by a public works truck back in January. Catherine Vassell with a nonprofit Partners for Home says everyone at the camp is being offered housing for at least a year, along with a dedicated caseworker and a life skills coach.
The upcoming new tenants will have their rooms fully equipped with kitchenette tools, hygiene kits, cleaning supplies, linens, etc.
She says they hope to have everyone placed in the new housing even before the clear out begins at 7:30 Thursday morning. Education advocates are warning that after-school programs could be in jeopardy if already allocated federal funding is not released.
Hundreds of millions of dollars in federal education funding for Georgia is under review by the White House. Katie Landis, director of the Georgia Statewide After-School Network, says $40 million of that was specifically for after-school programs that serve some 27,000 students in the state.
This funding freeze is withholding of funding, disrupting program planning and creating uncertainty for families.
In a statement, Georgia School Superintendent Richard Woods says he's calling for the funds to be released, quote, so we can ensure the success of our students. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
The Red Cross says the July 4th holiday has added to blood donation challenges this summer season.
Severe summer storms and holiday trips can have an impact on collections of blood and platelets, so making donation appointments and keeping them are critical to keeping blood supplies ready. The American Red Cross says type O blood products are most needed as reserves start to drop, but donations of all blood types are welcome. You can sign up to donate on the American Red Cross Blood Donor app. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
The Red Cross is also helping those impacted by those deadly Texas floods, offering emergency shelters, providing food, relief supplies, and other critical resources like financial and family travel assistance. The floods have been devastating there. We've actually heard from one of the first responders on the scene in Texas at Camp Mystic.
The real heroes, I think, were the kids on the ground. Like, those guys are heroic, and you know, they were dealing with some of the worst times of their lives, and they were staying strong, and that helped inspire me to kind of get in there and help them out.
That's Coast Guard rescue swimmer Scott Ruskin, who was credited with saving the lives of nearly 200 campers at the camp that was devastated by the floods. He was talking to ABC News, and he says that there were some 200 kids there just cold and scared. He helped rescue. The death toll this past half hour has risen to now 95. Hearings begin in Austell for residents facing a 158% increase in property taxes.
Mayor Ollie Clemens has told residents the city is in crisis mode and rate hikes have been delayed too many years. Sharing with Channel 2 Action News, the time has come.
Now it's just time to do something about it.
But residents don't necessarily agree.
158% runs the risk of driving some people on fixed incomes, especially seniors, out of their homes. Can you live with that?
The council voted against a similar measure in 2024. Lisa Nicholas, 95.5 WSB.
It's now 4:34, time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. WSB Triple Team Traffic starts off with Alex Williams.
Very active on the south side right now. Veronica, travel advisory continues. I-75 northbound, Forest Parkway, exit 237 there in Clayton County. Car fire cleanup, only a couple of right lanes open. Use Highway 1941, Highway 54, I-675 as alternates. Travel advisory in Union City, crash still into left lanes. 85 northbound at Flat Shoals Road, exit 66. Actually, right now they're about in 3 left lanes. Nonetheless, it is cooked right out of Fairburn. Highway 29 will get you around that. Now going up to the northern suburbs, travel advisory between Alpharetta and Roswell. Crash 400 southbound below Mansell Road, exit 8. A couple of the right lanes blocked there. Use Highway 9. And we still got our eyes on trouble on I-20 into Cobb County. Andrew Seco.
Big rigs still in that right lane and delays popping up either direction. I-20, we're here at Wesley Chapel Road, exit 68, adding a couple extra minutes commute time either way in and out of the Mall of Stonecrest. Pack your patience on the southeast side. From the Cool Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Epp, where it's partly cloudy and hot through this afternoon, high 94, lows tonight in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, an isolated pop-up shower possible, otherwise partly cloudy, high 93. A few pop-up showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday, high 92.
It's 93 degrees now in East Point, 94 in Ellenwood, and 95 on Peachtree Street in Midtown Atlanta at 4:35. More news at 5 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Trust isn't a given. It's earned, and when you're in need after a wreck, trust someone I know will work for you. John Foy and Associates. It's Smiler Mark McKay. John Foy is compassionate and will treat you with respect. Don't go it alone. Go with the guy I personally recommend, johnfoy.com.
Shop sweet savings at Whole Foods Market. Get organic red cherries for $4.99 per pound with Prime through July 8th. Bring a bag to your summer picnic to share with your friends. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
It's Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I've got something important to talk to you about, your 401k. If you have changed jobs, there are 2 very important considerations. You don't want to leave your 401k behind, and you don't want to roll it over into your new company plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. 401ks will often have limited investments or age-based options. Since companies have to make choices to suit all employees, they may not be suited to you, which could cost you fees and money. When you roll over your 401k into an IRA, you not only keep your money growing tax deferred, but you also gain access to a world of investment options specifically designed for you. Trajan Wealth and our fiduciary advisors have helped thousands, and we can do the same for you. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
The Steel Horse Law name strikes fear in the heart of big insurance companies. We make them pay.
Properties come in all shapes and sizes, and so do foundation repairs. Mark Beckham here. It could be new construction, a big house, a small house, or your commercial property. Anyway, you need the leaders in foundation repair to handle it. Get your free estimate at atlantaramjack.com.
Hey, if you got weekend plans, make sure your home is ready for them. I called Wise Guys Pro Wash, and boom, the house, driveway, and patio were spotless. They even cleaned the roof. I didn't even have to be home. They are truly professionals using the top equipment in the industry, and their soft washing kept my home safe and damage-free, and the results, incredible. Wise Guys has more than 2,000 5-star reviews, and I know why now. So mention me, Chris Chandler, for $70 off your next service. Book today at wiseguysprowash.com.
Was Trump joking when he said this, or?
You be the judge. I think that he is not joking.
He's saying there's going to be a White House UFC event
for the 250th birthday, so he wants to include this in the Patriot Games here. So let me at least.
What are the Patriot Games?
Oh, this for our 250th birthday, it would be like an Olympics, but for all of the
high schoolers.
High schoolers, yes, exactly.
Okay, I can see how that. But all of the high schoolers?
But you got to play the same gender you were born as.
Right? we get that. We get that. But I mean, there's a lot of high school kids. How you gonna
dueling?
How you gonna get this down to, I don't know, like 10 schools being represented or whatever? Go
Next, to bring back our people together through the power of sports, America 250 will also host a brand new, first of its kind youth athletes It's a competition known as the Patriot Games, and it features top high school athletes from all 50 states. It's going to be great. And this phenomenal patriotic sporting event will be nationally televised, and it will be led by our great Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who's really doing it.
The idea being, there's nothing wrong with getting sporting events and stuff in there. By the way, that's the stupid corporate dumbass name we're having for this, America 250.
That's right.
What do we call it in 76? Just the bicentennial.
The bicentennial. Well, the thing is a mouthful, though, now. It's a semi-quincentennial.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really...
Semi-quincentennial.
Yeah, so it's not really... But
America 250. It's a good
America
hashtag, too.
250.
It's a good hashtag, too.
How did this not come out of CMG? Just a joke. I'm just saying, it's a very corporate kind of... Doesn't feel soulful or anything along those lines.
What would you call it?
Off the top of my head, I don't know, but I know what I know.
Mr.
Okay.
The answer.
Give me a day. I'll come up with something better than America 250.
Almost
Like,
tricentennial.
it sounds like it's not even the NASCAR level. It's an Xfinity race. It's a 250.
Well, I think it rolls right off the tongue, and that's why all these beautiful high school kids are going to compete in the UFC fight. Beautiful.
I want to see young high school boys wrestling. That's what I want.
But
to celebrate
real boys.
250.
Real boys.
Then next he says he's going to have a UFC championship bout not in the White House, of course. Can't put an audience.
Lincoln bedroom.
No, there you go. It is a tall. Did you hear about how tall he was?
Very tall, and you can grab anything and use it as a weapon.
Yeah.
So every one of our national park, battlefields, and historic sites are going to have special events in honor of America 250. And I even think we're going to have a UFC fight. We're going to have. Does anybody watch UFC? The Great Dana White.
Huh?
We're going to have a UFC fight. We're going to have a UFC fight. Think of this on the grounds of the White House. We have a lot of land there. We're going to build a little. We're not. Dana's going to do it. Dana's great, one of a kind. Going to have a UFC fight, championship fight, full fight, like 25,000 people.
How many?
And we're going to do that as part of 250 also. We're going to have some incredible events, some professional events, some amateur events. But the UFC fight is going to be a big deal.
You know what else they're going to do? Oh, it's a small thing. We're going to add $5 trillion to your debt. But don't look at that.
Watch the bread and circuses. Don't think about the money.
Fried Oreos.
That's right. Anytime you think about another $1 trillion being added to the debt, think about how tasty a fried Oreo would be.
That's right.
Or
jalapeno corn dog.
A traditional funnel cake with the powdered sugar.
Oh, yeah, the powdered sugar. It gets all over your tie.
But it's fun.
Bobby might not like us eating
I
it,
don't
though.
care, Bobby. We'll use real sugar.
By the way, I want to mention RFK Jr. is still taking quite a bit of flack because, I don't know, according to the mainstream media, the COVID vaccine was just a wild success. What I noticed is everybody got it 3 times, but whatever. He's still taking flack on that. They're trying to blame the measles on him for some ridiculous reason. But it seems to me that out of the celebrity politicians who are a part of this administration, agree with him or disagree with him, he's not Kristi Noem out there looking for cameras everywhere. He seems to have just kind of gone to work.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just like he's not making ridiculous, he's not saying ridiculous things or whatever. I mean, you may disagree with him, but pretty much he's been in line with what he said he would do.
Under the radar compared to some of the other people in the administration.
It's not sensational enough.
Yeah, I think that he's probably like, hey, I've got an opportunity to make to make my mark here, and I'm going to take the time that I have here to make my mark. Now, again, you may legitimately disagree with what that mark is going to be, but he was one of the big A-list celebrity politicians coming in, and he's really kind of acting like, time to go to work, time to go to the office, and I love every time you can't get a story about this guy without vaccines being in there. It doesn't matter if it has anything to do with the story whatsoever. And look, I don't know if he still is, he was genuinely anti-vax. I get upset that people who questioned one vaccine suddenly got lumped in, because the anti-vax movement before COVID was very lefty, very Vermont, we live off the land kind of thing. And RFK Jr. was a part of that. But even given all of that, in order to be an anti-vaxxer, you're against vaccinations. as that's a very small minority of Americans. It's not a burgeoning movement. But the way that they make it seem dangerous is they lump in all the Americans who questioned one vaccine.
Right.
And in the midst of all of this, the media just seems to say, well, everybody knows that vaccine was fabulous. Was it? It made it, once you got COVID, it made it easier to handle. And the evidence is of that.
It just did, all right?
Okay, well, because that was your second story after you told me if I take it, I'm not going to get it. Remember, that was the first story. The first story was it was a vaccination.
The president said it.
Yeah.
If you take this, you will not get sick.
And then they even pretended that the fact that there were viral offshoots was a surprise, which, of course, it's not a surprise. It's what viruses do. It's part of your plan of attack, is to try to knock this thing down to where it's easier to get, but once you get it, it's not nearly as dangerous.
Well, you get less of a razor blade throat. It's more like a paper cut throat.
Yeah, a little bit. What happens, everybody knows how viruses work. They try to kill everybody, and then they realize that's not, I'm talking about the hive mind, that it's realized that this isn't necessarily the best way to get around, and then the later versions are easier to catch but not as deadly. Because really what a virus wants to do is just hang out.
Just wants to live.
It'll come back in 100 years and kill another 5 million people or whatever, but it can't do that if it's not around.
Maybe we have more in common with the viruses than we think.
Because
we kill a lot of things.
We do.
And we also want to hang out.
We do kill a lot of things. We want to hang out, but we don't kill as many things as lions and tigers do.
True.
Maybe we do.
Absolutely not.
Well,
we
don't
do
do
more than lions and
no,
tigers.
but we don't do it with our own hands. We let people do it in slaughterhouses, like respectable.
That's still us.
Like no, that's class.
No?
That's called some class.
Viruses just want to vibe, guys. They just want to vibe.
Viruses just
They're
want
trying to vibe.
You got a
Let 'em
PS3?
vibe.
I just don't know who these people are that look at the vaccine for COVID. Oh, that was a wild success. Why? Why was it? Why was it? Because now it's 5 years later and none of us are getting COVID. And people still are, of course, but it's not that bad.
All they have to do to correct that verbiage is just say they're anti-some vax, not all vax. It's not one or the other. You know what I mean? Like it should just be.
RFK Jr. actually was anti-vax. I would have put him in. I don't know how he feels now, but he believes the autism connection and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what his evidence is, but he was anti-vax, at least for a while. So I don't mind that people say that he's anti-vax, because he has, from the left, as it was coming from before COVID, was anti-vax. But this thing that the media has is just like, yeah, that COVID vaccine was fantastic. Like, what is the evidence for that? Alex Williams says there's a travel advisory on 85 in Union City.
Yeah, the south side has been a mess this afternoon, Eric. This travel advisory is on 85 northbound, Flat Shoals Road, exit 66. Crash into left lanes. You're stacked up from Fairburn, Highway 74, Sonoy Road, exit 61, and Fairburn. Use Highway 29 as an alternate. Travel advisory continues in Forest Park, Clayton County, 75 northbound. Car fire cleanup at Forest Parkway, exit 237. That is in two left lanes. Very slow back to Terra Boulevard. Use that, Highway 54, Jonesboro Road, or I-675 northbound as your alternates there. We've also been tracking trouble on Georgia 400 between Alpharetta and Roswell, Andrew Seco.
Seeing the flashing lights on the right side on the jam cams here, Alex. 400 southbound approaching Holcomb Bridge Road, exit number 7. Something jamming you up right there. Already seeing the brake lights taking you back towards Highway 120. Plan for some extra commute time and pack your patience heading closer towards Dunwoody. From the Cool Lake Area Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic 95.5 WSB.
The U.S. is investing up to $1 billion to fight the spread of bird flu.
At the top and bottom of every hour.
Traffic congestion around Metro Atlanta continues to cost commuters.
And when it breaks.
The suspect is in critical condition, being struck multiple times.
Check back 3, 4, 5 times a day for the latest.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
This is Scott Slade, and nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. That's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual imaging's LDCT body scan can be invaluable, giving you more time for you and your loved ones to take charge of your health. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. Due to overwhelming demand for a limited time, their $995 core body scan offer has been extended. It's a $2,495 value. Early detection saves lives, and now it's more affordable than ever. Virtual Imaging has gotten such great response to this offer that they've opened up more times in both offices, but appointments will fill up fast, so don't wait. Some minimum requirements may apply. Early detection is your best protection. To schedule your virtual imaging $995 core body scan, call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
George Stein literally wrote the book on DUI defense in Georgia. Let him represent you. GeorgeStein.com.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Expert entrepreneur Ed Milet is on a mission to max out your life.
I'm going to give you a term, QTR, quality time remaining. Your dreams that you think you're going to get around to doing, but you don't do very much. Start your QTR list, at least with yourself, and start creating more quality time remaining moments because you've got limited time left. Start talking about it. Could change your life. Man, it might change the world if we get enough of this out there. God bless you.
The Ed Milet Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
So you've been needing a new roof to battle the elements. Replace your roof this month, and you'll be helping battle childhood cancer, too. Dave Baker for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. And once again, Findlay's proud to support the WSB Carathon, benefiting the Aflac Cancer Center of Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Findlay will donate $100 from every roof replacement now through July 25th, guaranteeing a donation of at least $10,000. Schedule your free roof analysis at FindlayRoofing.com. Roof, roof.
I know it's a tough day for George Clark, conspiracy theorist.
It's a tough day for America.
They've closed the file. They've closed the Epstein file, and they've basically said that they did an official inquiry and that he committed suicide. And
I don't believe it.
I know people don't give me why they don't believe it. I mean, I get why they don't believe it, but
at least 10 hours of surveillance video,
Ghislaine
right?
Get arrested for?
Huh?
What did Ghislaine Maxwell get arrested for?
Ghislaine trafficking young women to him. But I mean, that doesn't mean that there's some list that Leonardo DiCaprio's on. That one doesn't lead to the other. It's they knew the people they knew. Now, here's the thing
Take their word for it.
with conspiracy theories. See, you could always have that. You could always have that. That's the problem. Is you can always say, well, I just don't trust the source. Well, what about this source? I don't trust that source either. What about the third one? I don't trust that one. What about the seventh source? No, I don't trust
no source.
I trust no source. So then it just becomes, all theory all the time. But I think it has to be.
Eric's becoming docile.
What has to be understood here is the people who refuse to believe it, and I wasn't there, so I don't. But the people who refuse to believe it seem to have come up with this idea that he had no motive whatsoever to do it. And his motive to do it is the same one that I would have. First of all, I would not have a life like his. But if I found myself where suddenly like a Madoff situation.
You're talking about the suicide.
Talk about the suicide.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that, the fact that he was still, 65, 66, somewhere in there? He could possibly still live 20 more years. And he was going to go from super yachts and penthouses to a dingy, dank jailhouse existence.
66 when he died.
Like what made it. That could have been the next 20 years. And whether it happened this way or not, if you're a conspiracy theorist on it, you have to at least allow that is a motivation to kill yourself, that you've had this high-flying life, and now you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison. Von Hessler wouldn't be there the next day. If Von Hessler was looking at that, oh my goodness, I'm going from this wonderful jet-setting life to, being in jail for the rest of my life. I can imagine going, well, that was a good run. It's over.
I had fun on my island.
Yeah, people do it all the time. People run their families into debt, and they've never told their family. And then they have a day, and they just, okay, I'm going to get out of here. I don't want to face it. I don't want to deal with what the consequences are. That's the other kind of suicide that happens, where people just go, I just don't want to face the consequences. Most suicide is just people going through a mental illness or a depression or something, and it's just, it's super duper sad, because if they just would have given themselves 48 hours, who knows? Their mood might have changed.
Maxwell got 20 years, right?
She got 20 years.
And
I don't know. She's probably about 58 when she went in or something like that.
Yeah.
She looked like that. I don't know. But, it's not everybody is going to do it. It's a hell of a... and by the way, if you're upset that I use the word, just leave me alone.
People aren't upset by it. It's just a TikTok thing because you can't say
and
it on
YouTube
TikTok.
and all these others.
Oh,
And-
yeah, sure.
But let me just tell you something that I know for a fact to you young kids. The first step to solving a problem doesn't start with never mention the problem. All right, Alex Williams says seeing brake lights through downtown.
Yeah, back in full force after the holiday weekend, Eric. 85 southbound delay start just south of the Georgia 400 merge. Had some earlier trouble right around the ramp to 75 north. It's been moved off to the right. You stay on the brake lights, 75, 85 southbound to I-20. Northbound slows from University Avenue up to Freedom Parkway. Heads up into Cobb County. Big rig trouble still on the right lane. 20 westbound, Wesley Chapel Road, exit 68. And that is why you're on the brake lights back to the mall at Stonecrest. We've had several trouble spots south of the city, and with eyes on that is Andrew Seco.
Travel advisory number 1, Forest Park, 75 northbound. You have that vehicle fire cleanup in the left lanes as you approach exit 237. Already seen the brake lights back in tomorrow. And Union City, another travel advisory here. Left lanes also knocked out. Big crash delays back into the home of the Renaissance Fest. 85 northbound approaching Flat Hills Road, exit number 66. From the Courier Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
A great way to add value to your home is to improve and upgrade your kitchen, but you're worried about the cost because of tariffs raising everybody's costs on things like this. Y'all, it's Eric. You can go to Frugal Kitchens. You'll get that $1 million look for well under that price. And right now, if you book an appointment, you'll get the Frugal Price Lock, where they will lock in pre-tariff pricing. Google Frugal Kitchens today. Lock in pre-tariff pricing on your redesign of your kitchen. Google Frugal Kitchens.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
You know kids will ruin your life, right? Especially if you're a garage door. I mean, babies are adorable, don't get me wrong. But after that adorable phase where they barf and poop on everything, they turn into a cheap garage door's worst nightmare. Whacking tennis balls against the door all day, up and down every time they ride a bike. You dreamy young'uns might have the energy to start a family, but that rusty avocado green aluminum garage door that came with your house is too old for this jazz. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Modern, insulated garage doors are built to stand up to family life. They resist dents, they don't ring like a gong when you whack them with a puck, and they go up and down, super quiet, as many times as your kids change their minds. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll treat you like family.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Atlanta DIY landlords, listen up. If you're exhausted from managing your rental properties all by yourself, my friends at Renters Warehouse Atlanta offering a 90-day test drive. Hire Renters Warehouse to manage your rental property for a low flat monthly fee as low as $115. If you're not satisfied at any time in the first 3 months, you can fire them. Get your management fees back. What do you get for that low flat monthly fee? A dedicated property management team, maintenance coordination, move in and move out property condition reports, advanced tenant screening with a 9-month tenant warranty, professional photography and videography, lease renewal processing and negotiations, online rent collection, monthly owner cash flow statements, and more. Renters Warehouse, so confident you'll love their service, they want an addition for your business. Choice is yours. Keep DIYing or see how Renters Warehouse can make your life easier. Start your 90-day test drive today. Go to rwatlanta.com or call 404-662-2322, 404-662-2322.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk. News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm Veronica Waters. The news this hour is brought to you by D. Geller & Son Jewelers. WSB's top local story. The city of Atlanta is closing the homeless encampment on Old Wheat Street. That's where a man was fatally struck inside his tent by a public works truck earlier this year. Catherine Vassell is the CEO of Partners for Home, a homelessness nonprofit.
We are making offers of housing offers to all 14 individuals.
City officials say they have 500 beds available and need to help get people out of this dangerous heat. Atlanta Police Major Jack Canton makes clear this has nothing to do with the FIFA World Cup playoffs next year.
We have been doing this actually for a couple of years ahead of the announcement of the big soccer tournament. And we are continuing to do that. In fact, Mayor Dickens is the one that spearheaded this before we found out about all this.
The move starts at 7:30 Thursday morning. It's 95 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards is forecasting these hot temperatures for a couple more days this week and probably beyond, too. It's going to be mostly clear and warm overnight with lows in the mid-70s. Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast is straight ahead. Widespread losses for investors in the Dow Jones, NASDAQ, and S&P 500 today as President Trump says he will hit Japan and South Korea with 25% tariffs on their goods and announces tariffs on 5 other nations. All told, the S&P 500 fell 49 points to 6,229. That's its biggest loss since mid-June. The Dow lost 422 points to 44,406, and the NASDAQ slid 188 points to 20,412. Hearings begin in Austell for residents facing a 158% increase in property taxes.
Mayor Ollie Clemens has told residents the city is in crisis mode and rate hikes have been delayed too many years. Sharing with Channel 2 Action News, the time has come.
Now it's just time to do something about it.
But residents don't necessarily agree.
158% runs the risk of driving some people on fixed incomes, especially seniors, out of their homes. Can you live with that?
The council voted against a similar measure in 2024. Lisa Nicholas, 95.5 WSB.
Former federal officials and outside experts have warned for months that President Trump's staffing cuts to the National Weather Service could endanger lives. And after torrential rains and flash flooding in the Texas Hill Country, the Weather Service has come under fire from local officials criticizing what they describe as inadequate forecasts. Democrats waste little time, too, linking staff reductions to this disaster, which is being blamed for the deaths of at least 95 people. North Carolina State Highway Patrol confirms at least one flood-related death in the Tar Heel state. Officials say a woman traveled into floodwaters Sunday and was swept off a roadway in Chatham County. Tropical Depression Chantal has caused major flooding in North Carolina. Dozens in Durham County were rescued by boat near the Eno River in North Durham.
We basically just got out with the clothes on our back. Neighbors going to have to get together and help each other rebuild.
Education advocates are calling on the Trump administration to release already allotted federal education funds specifically for after-school programs. Katie Lands, director of the Georgia Statewide After-School Network, says some $40 million for Georgia's programs are under review, impacting some 27,000 kids.
This is FY25 funding that was already appropriated by Congress, that the state was expecting, and that programs had already been planning for and expecting.
In a statement, Georgia School Superintendent Richard Woods says he's calling for the funds to be released, quote, so we can ensure the success of our students. Amazon Prime Day starts tomorrow, and it's actually grown into 4 days this year from July 8th through the 11th. Adobe Insights analyst Vivek Pandya says some sellers are still pricing things competitively.
The consumer's still been able to get a lot of value despite this sort of broader economic environment where there's been tariffs and things that the consumers have to deal with.
Pandya forecasts some $23.8 billion in spending thanks to the extra days, and that's on everything from electronics to toys and groceries. It's now 5:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. But first, let's check that WSB triple team traffic. It kicks off right now with Alex Williams.
Big mess continues on the south side, Veronica. Travel advisory, 85 northbound, Flat Shoals Road, exit 66. It's in multiple left lanes, and it is jammed the ride back to Highway 74, Sonoya Road, exit 61. Highway 29 will get you around that. Car fire Dalston, they're clearing it. They're picking up the cones from the left lanes in Clayton County. 75 northbound, Forest Parkway, exit 237, but nonetheless, still a very slow ride trying to get up toward the airport from Terra Boulevard. We've also been watching the ride around I-285, Andrew Seco.
Circle the city, finding the worst of it leaving Doraville, 285 East, the inner loop. Seeing the brake lights taking you from I-85 down towards Ponce de Leon Avenue, exit number 40. And as you're leaving Sandy Springs through Smyrna Vinings, they pop back up again, 285 westbound, the outer loop. On and off the brake pedal, leaving Riverside Drive on your way down towards I-20. That's exit number 10. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now, Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of Atlanta. Here's WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Fair skies and staying hot this evening. Sunset around 9 o'clock. Temperatures still in the low 90s at that time and staying warm through tomorrow morning with lows in the mid-70s. Tomorrow afternoon, partly cloudy, mainly dry, though an isolated pop-up shower can't be ruled out, high 93. A few more of those pop-up storms on Wednesday, high 92. Thursday and Friday, partly to mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms, highs in the upper 80s to low 90s.
Right now it's 93 degrees in Villa Rica, 93 in Vinings, and 94 degrees on Peachtree Street in Midtown Atlanta at 5:05. More news at 5:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 3 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. And of course, I had my point of view on the closing of the Epstein files. What do you want to say, George?
I mean, that is you're taking their word for it. Pam Bondi says
no. I'm not taking their word for it. I'm just saying that I wasn't there and you weren't there.
Right.
So we're both in the same position.
About the suicide.
About the suicide
the
and or the client list. I don't even know why there has to be a client list. Are they going to forget? They know who's coming. They know who likes what and what powerful people. The client list was based on who did he want as clients and his financial kind of thing, and I can give him some added value over at the island.
Do you think it's a little suspicious that they're just kind of like telling you it's done, we're done?
I think if from their point of view, if they think it's done, they're like, I don't want to answer any more questions about this for the next 3 years. Yeah. I want to move on and do something else. Why doesn't it affect you at all that people like Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, who have been so vocal about this and wanted to see this, you're just completely convinced that for one reason or another they've been baked into it.
Yeah.
But is there a world that even exists that they could do that? Do they have to go there and find something because they speculated that something was there?
I think if you look into it, it's obvious enough that something
by what you're saying, George
criminal
Clark,
is going on there.
Why look into it? If it's so obvious, let's just go start arresting people. I mean, the reason that you're looking into it is because you're looking for evidence and you're looking for facts, right?
Yeah.
That means you don't have them. All you have is speculation. So the only thing that you have on the conspiracy theory side is this was a huge whitewash. This was a huge cover-up, and that alone comes in with the idea, well, they got rid of all that evidence. But still, you have to accept the fact that you're living in the land of speculation. Doesn't make you wrong. But too many conspiracy theorists believe they're dealing with facts for the same reason that you just said. It's just so damn obvious. But people are set free by juries when people walk into courtrooms thinking things are so obvious all the time. Sometimes there's just not any there. I don't know. I just don't think that there was any answer that wasn't totally, this was what we speculated, that you would accept, no matter what. So and that doesn't mean you're wrong. I just don't think that you ever were going to accept the fact that the guy didn't keep a list and he committed suicide. I don't think you were ever going to accept that unless you wanted more evidence, was maybe that's the problem. I brought in Shelley Winter because he's upset about this as well. And your point of view is why were administration officials telling us that this stuff existed in February and March when they were already in power?
Yeah.
It's a good question.
Bongino built 3 years of his radio career on the Epstein list. And now he's in the FBI and he's saying, oh, there's nothing to see here. So did you not know this when you're a decorated Secret Service agent, law enforcement expert? I mean, these are all the things they told me why he should be deputy director of the FBI. So you didn't see any of this before? It's just, this reminds me of when Q first dropped. When Q first dropped after the 2016 election, Q was all about no Russian interference. That's all Q focused on.
Right.
There's no evidence. They're lying to us about Russia's interference.
Which turned out to be true.
Right. Turned out totally to be true. But they were telling us this in November, December of 2016. And so then Q morphed into some kind of craziness. It went all over the place. But also then, 2017, 18, 19, 20, it was all about trust the process. It's coming.
Yeah.
The wave is coming. Just keep waiting. Just keep waiting. Oh, here it comes. And that's how I feel like it's going on now. It's like you got the big, beautiful bill. No cutting spending. Deficit and exploding. Then you drop out. Oh, there's nothing to see here. Keep it moving. All of this stuff. And and all of us have been waiting for this stuff to drop. We voted for you to expose this stuff.
Now, do you believe that, and George, you can answer this too, do you believe that they are withholding evidence right
based
now,
on what I've been told, not based on
by
George,
them.
By them.
Right.
George is talking about something entirely different. What I'm saying is, you told me since 2017 that this list existed. Alina Hubbard just told Piers Morgan.
Who's that?
February.
Who's Alina Hubbard?
She was the counselor to the president. Now she's the chief prosecutor of New Jersey, District of New Jersey. But she told Piers Morgan in February, we have the flight logs, we have the list, we have all this stuff. So you're lying then, or are you covering it up now? And so all of this is just a pattern that I'm seeing that's infuriating me, and what's really making me more and more mad every day is the number of people who I love so very much who are just turning a blind eye to all of it by saying, well, Shelley, there's more important things to deal with. What about the tax cuts? What about the border? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
For 5 years you obsessed over this, now you don't care? It's just unbelievable.
Let me ask this, because I think everything, actually, George had them a little rough. I understand where the skepticism is coming from, but why wouldn't it have an effect like, well, if Dan Bongino went in there and he didn't see anything, I guess there's nothing there.
I'm not saying, George may be different. I'm saying I never believed this. I'd always thought it was kind of highfalutin conspiracy theories and stuff like that. But you brought millions of people to the polls in 20 and especially 2024 behind exposing it.
And you think the Bonginos of the world kind of knew
Absolutely
already?
They knew.
Already knew.
Absolutely
they
knew.
Right.
Absolutely they knew. And they kept it out there as a hook and a bait to bring people in. Absolutely
it's
they
like
knew.
Proud Boys stand by.
You didn't just find out yesterday that, oh, wow, there's no Epstein list.
Right.
Come on.
Well, they certainly, by the time they got in there, they had more ability to look at the things that were there. And you brought up to me that some of these people...
Patel was at the FBI before he was selected. He was there.
Do you think AOC really thinks the Earth is going to end in 5 years? Because it's the same thing to me.
It's not the same thing. I'll tell you why it's not the same
and
thing.
She gets money from that.
Well, she does get money from that, but she's not running on that. She's not going campaigning on, we've got to stop this right now. She's not telling her people, come vote for me because the world's going to end in 5 years unless you elect me. That's the big difference.
Well, that was kind of her whole campaign.
No, her whole campaign is stopping climate change, not the world's going to end in 5 years.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, but these people are openly going to tell people from 20, 21, 22, 23, up into 24, we're going to expose the list, we're going to cut spending, we're going to cut the deficit. These are all the things we're going to do, and you've done nothing of the sort.
Yeah, so it's all
you just
together.
all lied.
Yeah.
And you came to me and you said, I'm different than they are because I'm not a politician. I'm a businessman. That's what you said. I didn't make you say that. You said that to me. I'm not a politician. That's all we said. He's not a politician. He's going to be different. And all you've done is lied through your teeth on everything that was important to the people that voted for you. Forget the Democrats. Forget the media. You lied on everything that was important to the people that volunteered, knocked on doors, spent their time, spent their twos and fews to get you elected.
But isn't this what happens? This is what I always warn about joining movements, is they end up being, listen, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts.
John Lewis got
Absolutely.
his head beaten ahead at Edmund Pettus Bridge, went into Congress, and became exactly what he fought against.
Exactly.
And so it
Yes.
happens.
You get swallowed by this
and
thing.
And as voters,
Right.
as people that fell for it, we get mad.
Yeah, you
Just
feel
like
duped.
everybody else has gotten mad over the course of history.
Right. Well, that's why. Also, by the way, if you go to the other side, I don't know about AOC because I don't know how much she believes anything that she says. But you take someone like Greta Thunberg. She's probably pretty pissed off now. How many people told her, you're right, we do have to stop this, we do have to whatever. And then from her point of view, she helps get all these people get into power and get them whatever. And it's like, well, we have a corporate plan for 10 years and blah, blah, blah. Because the system ends up, that's why I always say to people, look, I believe this is how you should vote. You should walk in, you should look at two names and go, given the information I have right now, which one of these two people do I believe is going to harm me the least? That's the only way you should vote.
And you know what?
And then be pleasantly surprised if it turned out to be great.
And and as brilliant as that is, it is the most depressing thing to really think about.
Sure.
It really becomes so depressing to where you just say, like, almost like the Nation of Islam. You're like, I'm just never going to participate.
Right.
I'm going to do everything in my own community, and I'll never participate in this corrupt system.
But isn't that the part of the two-party system, though, is that you're going to have people with, I guess, the big tent ideology, right? Like, in order to keep people on board, whether it's Republican or Democrat, they're going to water down their message when they run for elections. And then when they win, they're going to say all these things and make all these fake promises. But when they get in power, they do have to run more to the center, and they can't make sure that all of these things are taken care of. It's just
but they don't have to lie through their teeth.
They don't have to lie through their teeth.
And so why?
They don't have to lie through their teeth.
You said something earlier.
They can say, hey, I hear you.
Right.
And when I get in there, we're gonna look at this. We're gonna look at this. But you're right. An awful lot of people came down on the side of this.
Right.
And then it becomes more obvious once they're elected, once they just start acting like everybody who was elected before them. All I'm saying is it should be a lesson to everyone the last few years. What Democrats thought Biden was going to be. Right. Just like, we're gonna go back to no drama, and it was anything but that.
Right. It's overhyped.
You just
100% overhyped.
Look at the old days, like in England, and even in this politicians. When you started campaigning, it was like a normal thing. People showed up with tomatoes, because they knew they were like, "You're gonna eventually have power over me."
Right.
But the moment I have power over you, this moment I have power over you, and that was the thing is, what, you're running for office? Okay, you must be a dog.
What really got me mad was when Elon said about the third party, and Trump said, no, that's a bad idea. These things don't work. I'm like, dude, you're the original winner as a third party candidate.
Yes.
How could you not support someone else saying, let's try a third party? You actually won as a third party candidate. You ran as a Republican, but you were a third party.
It would have been like if Bernie had won as a Democrat.
Right. You're a third party. And
Right.
if this third party that Elon starts is MAGA, separated from the Republicans, I'm all for it. Especially if
Anti-war.
There it is.
And balance the budget.
And freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech. On
and
all
EV
things.
tax credits.
EV, yes, of course, Elon. Yeah.
Thank you.
Freedom of speech on all things.
All things.
Even the things that make everybody mad. That's what people don't seem to understand. People don't understand. Yep. You have a right to speak your mind, even if what you say offends everyone.
Right.
And we're so far away from that.
So far.
The only thing that you can't do is point to somebody and tell a crowd, let's go burn the house. That you can't call for an action. But you can say things that
and people are even doing that.
Yeah,
not getting punished for it.
Right.
Which is
the bizarre thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's a bizarre thing. All right, I think
Thanks
that we've
for allowing me in.
covered all sides here.
Yep.
George Clark, anything left to say before we bury this
I don't
one?
believe any of it.
Okay. Alex Williams says there's a brake light battle on 85 into Union City.
That is correct, Eric. All due to this travel advisory that continues. A widely scattered crash still in two left lanes. 85 northbound, Flat Shoals, exit 66. That has ruined the ride out of Fairburn. Highway 29 will be your alternate around that. Elsewhere, 75 northbound, still recovering between Morrow and Forest Park due to the earlier car fire cleanup that cleared 75 north around Forest Parkway. Some southbound delays as you make your way through Hateville from Central Avenue, passing I-285. If you're traveling on the West Freeway, 20 westbound, sluggish from Fulton Industrial Boulevard to Lithia Springs. Speaking of, crash on Thornton Road northbound right at North Blair's Bridge Road leaves only a left lane open. How are things looking through downtown, Andrew Seco?
Lighter than normal volume we usually see this point in a Monday afternoon, Alex, but that does not mean we're out of the woods. The brake lights are still nearby, 75, 85 north and southbound. You are on and off that pedal both directions from 17th Street all the way down towards I-20. The sport sponsored by the International Hot Rod Association. Nitro's back. The IHRA Outlaw Nitro Series is lighting up the track. Nitro Nation, grab your tickets now at IHRA.com. IHRA.com. From the Cool Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
When you need to know.
This story is developing in Atlanta.
When you want to know.
Severe weather is on its way.
When you have to know.
We'll alert you as soon as this closure clears.
Get notifications
from your source for news.
Get the WSB radio app.
Download it from your app store today.
Is your old garage door a real clunker? Overhead Door Company of Atlanta is paying cash for your clunkers now. They'll haul away your old garage door and give you instant credit towards the new insulated doors. $200 for the first garage door and $100 for each additional door. Get $200 cash for your old entry door, too. It's cash for clunkers now at Overhead Door Company of Atlanta. Convenient, free, in-home estimates. Schedule online at overheaddooratlanta.com or call 404-USA Door.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business, powering possibilities.
Now through July 21st, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card for your business. Call and switch to Comcast Business today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Oh, popsicle drips, muddy shoes, and summertime messes, don't let them take over your home. Call Zerorez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Zerorez uses their ZR water technology, no dirt-attracting soaps, no harsh chemicals, just a truly clean, healthy home. Right now, take advantage of their summer sale. Get 15% off all services, that is carpets, air ducts, rugs, tile, and more, all 15% off. Just mention Chris Chandler or book now at ZerorezAtlanta.com, and yeah, they do commercial cleaning too. Zerorez, all they leave is clean.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer. With experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
What's the biggest mistake people make when selling their home? That one's easy. Settling. I don't mean settling down. I mean settling for way less money. It happens all the time. You get tired, worn out. A few lowball offers roll in and suddenly you're like, yeah, sure, whatever. Just take it. Not with Orchard. Because Orchard has flipped the entire system. First, they give you cash up front for your current home. That means you can go ahead and buy your next place on your timeline. No showings while you're still brushing your teeth. No packing up twice. No weird limbo life. Then, while you're chilling in your new place, Orchard gets to work selling your old home for top dollar. They handle the details, the marketing, the heavy lifting, and you get more money without losing your mind. So stop settling. Get your free home valuation today at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
What is All Care? All Care is expert urgent care and primary care under a single roof, offering convenience and continuity for your healthcare needs. All Care is a team of physicians and clinicians who know you and your medical history, so they can provide the personalized care you deserve. And with both family and immediate care services offered 7 days a week, All Care means seeing your doctor on your schedule. 15 convenient locations, same-day appointments, and walk-ins welcome. Remember, urgent care plus primary care equals All Care. Learn more at allcare-ga.com.
Want to go ahead and play that now?
Yeah, let's play this open mic because it's a little delusional.
We already have a third political party. It's libertarians. Musk needs to get behind them instead of trying to start a fourth party.
All right, see, that tells you how you don't want to be a part of the libertarian.
The hybrid car of the political world. Make up your mind.
Listen, the fact that people still talk about creating a third party when the libertarians have been around, I think, since 70 or 69 or 70 or something like that, and they've been on ballots, especially presidential ballots, for a good long time, shows you that it's been a complete and total failure. The problem with the Libertarian Party is they've convinced themselves it's a debating society. Parties are not that. They're not debating societies, and they're not think tanks. They are, once you create a party, what you're saying is we're very interested in winning elections, and through this apparatus, this party, we are going to win elections, and by winning a bunch of elections, we believe that we will have an effect on national policy, and the Libertarian Party has simply never graduated to that. It's a fun debate society. You know, you can debate all kinds of things, and but as far as governance, they don't have any experience in that, even though they've been around since the late 60s. Early 70s.
Gary Johnson was their best shot. I'm telling you, till the Aleppo moment.
Till the Aleppo moment.
He was gaining on Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump in that election cycle. He got all the way up to
that guy may go down as the last person I ever voted for.
Really?
And I thought, he was a bit of an idiot, but I knew he wasn't going to win. But I was still convincing wasn't that 2016?
Yeah.
I was still convincing myself that, you have a civil duty and blah, 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 and all that nonsense. And then I thought of Neil Peart, who wrote for Rush. And his lyrics were, if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. And
my thing lately has been, it's going to be it would be impossible to do, but to protest in the form of not voting if there's no one to vote for. And I know that at first that would mean that, only a small amount of people would be voting and deciding on who runs everything.
Right.
But then there would be a group of people that maybe people in power would want to gain access to.
Right.
And give us something that we actually want to vote for.
So I'm a little confused in the music's playing. You're saying at first you do what? There's just no candidate? I'm confused about the premise.
You just don't vote.
I don't vote.
Citizens decide if there's, I have to vote, and this one's better than that one, even though I don't really like that one. That's where we are now. And
that's what
if you don't have anyone to vote for, you don't vote.
Winning with one vote. Barron Trump.
That's he
voted for himself.
That's how I've been. That's how I've been. I just, I'm still open if a politician wants to, lobby for my vote or try to get
appeal to me.
That's what I'm saying. They
should start to work for it instead of being like the lesser.
But they are. But you got to understand that's where we come from. An awful lot of people are driven and motivated by cultural issues on the left and the right, and so there's a lot of them on the left as well. Remember that. Alex
saying
Williams.
they're dumb too.
Are you saying I'm dumb?
I'm saying everybody's dumb.
Wow, that includes
Except for me.
How dare you? Alex Williams says there are delays on 285 between Tucker and Clarkston.
Yeah, it's that slow afternoon commute over on the east side perimeter, Eric. 285 southbound brake lights find you right at I-85 Spaghetti Junction, and you'll stay on that brake pedal as you head south through Tucker. Not going to break free till you get into Clarkston, just past East Ponce, exit number 40. 285 westbound on the north side, a few brake lights, leaving Georgia 400 over to I-75, and on the south side, 285 westbound. It's been in rough shape all afternoon, even though several trouble spots have cleared. You're slow from I-75 through the airport tunnels over to I-85. How's that travel advisory on I-85 in Union City, Andrew Seco?
Still seeing those brake lights taking you back towards the home of the Renaissance Festival. Left lanes knocked out. Long-standing trouble spot here, 85 northbound at Flat Shoals Road, exit 66. Avoid the area and take Highway 29 as a fast track to get in and out of the area. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I've had listeners, coworkers, friends come up and ask me, hey, Aram, what makes Advanced Hair Restoration different? Well, allow me to share, along with some details on, get this, their once-a-year summer savings event. First off, Advanced Hair stands by the results, and their before and afters are second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creating a concierge-quality experience that's hard to find elsewhere. Finally, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. Quick, simple, and easy. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for the savings special opportunity, it's here, friends. Advanced Hair Summer Savings Event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details and to schedule your free consultation, call 770-660-HAIR. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair guaranteed to grow. 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898 or biglou.com.
If you need a new garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are open now for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of Atlanta. A winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of their choice. Deadline to enter is the end of the month to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of Atlanta. You can't win if you don't enter. Enter now at overheaddooratlanta.com. That's overheaddooratlanta.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News, weather,
Traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 5:30. I'm Veronica Waters. The news this half hour is brought to you by John Foy and Associates. WSB's top local story: a new trial date will be set after a mistrial today in the racketeering case against an accused Stop Cop City protester. The Court of Appeals rules that Ayla King's rights were violated when the judge closed jury selection to the public and media. King's lawyer, Suri Jimenez, wants to halt the legal proceedings, though, once and for all.
We are ready to file a plea in bar, asking for the court to dismiss all charges against Ms. King and bar any further prosecution.
Cites double jeopardy for that move. The state attorney general indicted more than 6 people from the protests against Atlanta's Public Safety Training Center. A new trial date is likely to come sometime in September or afterwards. Come Thursday morning, the city of Atlanta is closing the homeless encampment on Old Wheat Street, where a man was fatally struck inside his tent by a public works truck earlier this year. Officials cite the dangerous heat. All of the unhoused people there will be offered housing for at least a year. Catherine Vessel, CEO of the nonprofit Partners for Home, says they've already been working with the Old Wheat Street homeless to start housing placements.
We'll begin to make housing placements this week over the next several days. So most folks will be able to move in prior to the closure.
And those new relocated people will get supplies and a dedicated caseworker for at least a year's time. Education advocates are sounding the alarm on a current federal funding pause, which affects after-school programs serving students in Georgia.
More than $40 million in already allocated federal funding for after-school programs in Georgia is in limbo right now. Katie Landis, director of the Georgia Statewide After-School Network, says
this is funding that schools and communities and families were expecting. This pause on FY25 funding may prove temporary, but still the implications are significant.
Georgia School Superintendent Richard Woods says in a statement that he's calling for the funds to be released, quote, so we can ensure the success of our students. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Voters in Georgia are heading to the polls once again for early voting for a runoff election which could impact our utility bills.
Two candidates running as Democrats for District 3 of the Georgia Public Service Commission face off in a primary runoff after neither secured the necessary majority vote needed in last month's primary. Peter Hubbard and Keisha Waits are both vying for the seat, which is elected by voters statewide. The winner will face incumbent Republican Commissioner Fitz Johnson in November. Election day for the runoff is next Tuesday, but early voting continues through the end of this week. The PSC oversees rate increases and other proposals from Georgia utility companies, among other responsibilities. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
Search and rescue teams are still looking for victims of the catastrophic flooding in central Texas, and the death toll has been rising steadily today. Correspondent Jason Allen is in hard-hit Kerrville with the latest on the search.
One of the big questions as we see the death toll continue to rise and numbers of missing is just how many people are missing. Remember, this is a 4th of July weekend, an area with a lot of campgrounds, and authorities have set up an email address and a hotline for people to report in names of folks who may still be missing.
At least 10 campers and one counselor from Camp Mystic in Kerr County are among the missing still in the floods. Los Angeles leaders are blasting the Trump administration for sending dozens of California National Guard members and military vehicles to protect immigration officers as they carry out a raid in a city park. Mayor Karen Bass says she is unaware of a single arrest. In Australia, a woman accused of poisoning dinner guests using mushrooms was convicted today of 3 counts of murder and 1 of attempted murder. 50-year-old Erin Patterson pleaded not guilty, insisting the poisonings were an accident. 5 people had sat down to eat lunch at her home in July of 2023, and within a week, 3 would be dead and a 4th would be fighting for his life. The 5th standing trial for intentionally poisoning her guests with toxic mushrooms served in a beef Wellington. It's 5:34, time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. First, let's get back to a look at the roads. Alex Williams is kicking off our triple team traffic.
Long-standing travel advisory continues heading up to the airport out of Fairburn. Crash 85 northbound, Flat Shoals Road, exit 66. Still there in 2 left lanes. Highway 29 will get you around that. We just found new trouble up through Stockbridge on 675 northbound at Highway 42, exit number 2. Crash off to the left and off to the right, but slowing you from that I-75 split. And they're clearing a stall out of the right lane of the I-20 eastbound collector distributor ramp into Cobb County at Wesley Chapel Road, exit 68. All those lanes are starting to open back up. How are we looking through the heart of Atlanta, Andrew Seco?
Right now, just still have the volume either direction, Alex. 75, 85 north and southbound. It's a little less than we usually see, but we're still jammed up. You're on and off that brake pedal, slowing and going from 17th Street all the way down towards I-20. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now it's time for Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, and bringing it to you, WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Fair skies and staying hot this evening. Sunset around 9 o'clock. Temperatures still in the low 90s at that time, and staying warm through tomorrow morning with lows in the mid-70s. Tomorrow afternoon, partly cloudy, mainly dry, though an isolated pop-up shower can't be ruled out, high 93. A few more of those pop-up storms on Wednesday, high 92. Thursday and Friday, partly to mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms, highs in the upper 80s to low 90s.
Right now, we're looking at 94 degrees in Duluth. It's 93 in Dunwoody and 96 in Midtown Atlanta on Peachtree Street at 536. More news at 6 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Hi, this is Megan, your friend and jeweler from Shane Company. Did you know not all warranties are created equal? At Shane Company, our free lifetime warranty is all-inclusive and even protects the diamond in your engagement ring. We can offer such an incredible warranty because our rings are crafted to last a lifetime. As your friend and jeweler, our gift to you is peace of mind. At Shane Company, we also cover unlimited repairs, resizings, and cleanings for free for life, saving you thousands over time. Because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Pro athletes and attorneys count on George Stein, the DUI lawyer. You can too. GeorgeStein.com.
You know kids will ruin your life, right? Especially if you're a garage door. I mean, babies are adorable, don't get me wrong. But after that adorable phase where they barf and poop on everything, they turn into a cheap garage door's worst nightmare. Whacking tennis balls against the door all day, up and down every time they ride a bike. You dreamy young'uns might have the energy to start a family, but that rusty avocado green aluminum garage door that came with your house is too old for this jazz. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Modern, insulated garage doors are built to stand up to family life. They resist dents, they don't ring like a gong when you whack them with a puck, and they go up and down, super quiet, as many times as your kids change their minds. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll treat you like family.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Ice is in MacArthur Park and
they're melting in the dark.
I don't think I can take it. I used to work right down the street from MacArthur.
Is that where
Park.
your station was?
Yeah.
Is that where you left your cake?
I actually had no problem. It was an ice cream cake. I ate it in MacArthur Park, no problem at all. But I was willing to. I had friends there with me as well.
Yeah, in the 90s, you could just leave your cake there and nothing would happen to it. But in the 60s and 70s.
It was a rough part of town. Let me tell you. It was a rough part of town. I drove past MacArthur Park a couple of times, and then I figured out a new route.
Good.
I think I took Vermont all the way down from Glendale or something. I can't remember. But I stopped doing that because it was always that light in front of MacArthur Park where you just don't know what the hell is going to happen. You just don't know. So what are they in there with horses rounding up people?
Yes, it looks like a formation. You know, the horses.
Are they doing that thing from the Arab Spring? Are they they have remember the Arab Spring? Those guys were on camels and they were like whipping people.
Oh no, they don't have lashes. They don't have riding crops and whips.
Okay.
I believe the mayor of LA was out there too, right?
I guess.
Yeah, she was out there.
She posted it on X. So.
This world's gone to crazy nuts land. What do I know? I don't know what I.
Yeah, we've been there. We've been crazy and nuts for about 15 years now.
Yeah,
longer
but
than
that. You gotta give it to this particular presidency. The word roundups is a lot more relevant now than it's ever been. I don't know about ever. World War II.
It doesn't make things feel safe and calm and.
For who?
Any of us?
Well,
friends?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think that the way to deal with everything is always difficult because everything is nuanced. It's like this guy from El Salvador. Who got sent to El Salvador. Some people say he's a Baltimore dad. Every picture I've ever seen, he looks incredibly stoned. But hey, look, I've known dads who are stoned.
And rocking Chicago Bulls gear, which we know what that means.
Yeah, I know, but Michael Jordan also rocks that. So he's not a gang member. So, like I say, there's nuance. You can't take every Hispanic wearing a Bulls hat and just decide this guy's going away because he's obviously in a gang. Now, maybe 85% of the time you're right, but you still got to collect the evidence. You still have to prove it. You still have to show it. You still have to do all of the difficult.
Collecting evidence is so old
yeah,
school.
I know.
Come on, we don't need to do that. Come on, Eric.
I was going to make the joke, Your Honor. He's wearing a hat, but there is no Your Honor involved in a lot of this. So it's just scoop them up and. So yeah, for the most part, I'm not into scooping people up in large groups and just saying, hey, they sent some people to South Sudan. And, a lot of that works at the border. I've mentioned this before. Ultimately, it's the headlines, alligator Alcatraz, sent to El Salvador, sent to South Sudan, that if you were thinking 6 months ago, I'm going to try to get into the United States, probably you're like, not now. Who knows what could happen? Used to be either I'm going to get in or I'm not going to get in. Now there's all kinds of I don't know. This president, he's like, he sets alligators against you or whatever. So a lot of that works for the policy in at the border itself because you have a lot less people trying to get in. And these kind of headlines don't hurt. But, my guess is the guy from Baltimore is, I don't have a problem with them finding that he's guilty of something. I have a problem with them pretending that they don't have to make that finding. And, yeah, that's difficult.
You don't trust President? President can't do it for you?
Well, he's not looking at every one of these cases.
And I'm looking at the Epstein files.
Yeah, and seeing nothing there.
Nothing burger.
And, the people who don't think Kristi Noem's annoying obviously have people like that in their lives that they love. I don't know what to say. She's a strong woman. She knows when to shoot a dog in the face. Because it wasn't, I don't know, it was more difficult to housebreak than she expected. I don't know. And she dragged a donkey into it as well. But also, hey, we got an ice raid. All right, what time's the raid? 7 a.m.? I just have to know because I have to start putting my makeup on at 4:30.
Yeah, she's not running for anything after this.
Oh, no. It's not about power for Kristi Noem. She's not that type of politician. So, none of it makes sense. It makes sense to say we're going to do something about immigration. Biden opened up the border. It was crazy, but things still have to. It's really difficult. Wah, wah, wah. Too bad. It's difficult. The Constitution says it goes like this. Wow, are you telling me it's difficult? I guess what I'm telling you is, your job just became more difficult. There's no skirting it, but we have, from the left, who will go on and on about this issue, they show no fealty to the Constitution. In the next year, because we're in the America 250, the ridiculous corporate name for our celebration.
Our hashtagable birthday.
Ugh.
Hashtags don't work anymore, so don't say that.
Yeah. Why? Is AI taking over that as well?
All the platforms are saying, don't use hashtags anymore. You'll get more reach without using them.
It's possibly true because AI is changing everything. The fact that nobody is Googling anymore, I mean, not nobody, but percentage-wise, the number of people Googling things is overnight drastically a lot less because everybody switched to just asking questions of AI, whatever your particular favorite.
I like Claude.
Who's Claude?
Claude's AI. I'm not sure who owns it. But
Who
it's
owns Claude?
All right, I can find that for you.
Is it...
Is Cloud.
Is that
Hello? Yeah.
is that like the Bing one or something? Or was
It's Cloud, I believe. Claud. I know it looks like Claude, but that's what they're saying. Cloud.
Oh, do you pronounce it Cloud?
It's Claude.
Claude, okay.
Okay, if you're going to spell it Claude, that's a name.
I know, but
you expect
it's a
everybody to get
marketing
it?
name, and it's...
You say everybody's going to get it? You think hillbillies are going to go, oh, that's Cloud.
Yeah, I know that for sure. I could tell.
Claude's my boy.
Who's behind Cloud?
It's OpenAI as well. He's
Oh.
more of a chat bot.
Okay.
Oh.
There's a scary individual.
No thanks.
Look into the Sam Altman.
Yeah.
Oh, these tech guys.
You could get a girlfriend.
Emotionally unstable human
Thanks,
beings.
Claude.
It's good for incels.
A girlfriend is somebody who's real, who sits next to you on the couch.
Yeah, but the chatbot will understand you better, and it won't,
Nah, it won't
make
nag.
you do things. You won't have to spend money.
That's true.
Well, you could subscribe, and then you get nude photos, but that's all right.
Yeah, sure.
They're not
That's-
real, but
That's basically how it is in a real relationship.
right. You're never going to meet anybody anyway. You're a dork.
Thank goodness Sam Altman and Cloud came along.
Yeah, Claude, Cloud, whatever. Tim's
Claude.
dumb.
I don't. So who's behind? So I'm using ChatGPT on my Chrome, and Chrome is owned by Google.
Yeah.
But Google has their own AI called Gemini. Why isn't that incorporated into Chrome?
That's a good question.
I have no. I don't really understand that.
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
It's OpenAI.
It's so weird. Like sometimes it will say, I don't know, and Microsoft owns a bit of it too, I think, of OpenAI.
It says they are a major investor.
Sometimes ChatGPT is like, I can't go there. But then on its own, it will go into places you never wanted it to. Like, it's a very, it doesn't really know it's going. The things that it can't tell you about candidates and certain political issues and things like that, it's like it's going off some kind of weird lawyerly advice and not really understanding it.
Is ChatGPT still doing that?
Yeah, it'll still. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I've never had it
Well,
tell me.
have you
to
asked it
learn
really-
something?
Well, ask it something like, how come so many people like the Proud Boys? See what happens. I mean, I'm just off the top of my head. I think that would be a now maybe they'll just do, well, they like it for this, but here's the 400 reasons that they're wrong.
Ask it why Sierra Ortega just went up and left Love Island like she did.
Oh, no, it's got a good answer for that.
Proud. I feel proud, boys.
All right, what you getting? Is it? Of course, it'll
Okay,
prove
I've
me
got-
wrong, and it'll give you a nice,
that is
nuanced.
a good question.
Oh,
I says that is a good question, and the answer depends on which people you're talking about. People who say they love or support the Proud Boys usually do so because the group aligns with one or more of their own beliefs, frustrations, or
Oh.
identity needs. Even the.
All right. Well, so it's giving you a nuanced answer.
I asked it
That
how
was a
many.
bad example.
ChatGPT rules.
I asked it how many members it has, and it says anywhere between 300 and 6,000.
Good results.
Yes.
Do we need just like one squadron, or do we need a whole? What's it going to take to fight these people if it comes down to it? Well, I don't know. There's between 300 and 6,000. So, all right. Alex Williams sees a crash on Georgia 400 in Alpharetta.
Yeah, they've been clearing it out of the right lane here, Eric. 400 southbound Old Milton Parkway, exit 10. That's why you're seeing a little bit of an unusual slow zone as you approach Windward Parkway, but hopefully that will start to improve. Slowest part of the northbound ride on Georgia 400 is that trek in Sandy Springs with that merging Madness 400 northbound, sluggish from 285, but improves once you get it to Northridge, exit 6. We just found trouble in Norcross. It's a stall in a center lane, 85 southbound below Indian Trail Road, exit 101. Northbound, you're bunched in as you pass I-285 in Doorville. Then a few more brake lights lights up into Suwanee from Sugarloaf Parkway up to the 985 split. We're still watching that travel advisory on 85 in Union City, Andrew Seco.
Looks like we may be hanging out here for a while, Alex. Left lane's knocked out. No estimated clearing time with this. Delays back a few miles towards the home of the Renaissance Festival, 85 northbound. Flat Shoals Road, exit number 66. Avoid the area. Take Highway 29. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
What would you do with $1,000 this summer?
Hotel, pool, week at the beach, cabin in the woods.
Whatever you want to do this summer,
WSB has $1,000 to make it happen.
$1,000 Thursdays gives you the chance to win $1,000 every hour between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m.
Listen for the keyword at 9, 10, and 11 a.m. and 12, 1, 2, and 3 p.m.
Enter the keyword at WSBradio.com or on the WSB app within that hour.
You could win $1,000. Get all the info at WSBradio.com.
$1,000 Thursdays this Thursday.
95.5 WSB, where Atlanta wins.
If you're thinking about selling your home this summer, now is the time. With a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can sell your home hassle-free and make the most money. Hi, this is Mark Spain. The guaranteed offer for Mark Spain Real Estate's the easiest way to sell your home. Skip the hassle of costly repairs and sell your home stress-free. There's no showings, no open houses, and no waiting or wondering when your home's going to sell. Our guaranteed offer keeps you in control. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Ghost Skeletor World Tour 2025. Ghost Theatrical Heavy Metal Arena Rock. This Friday night, State Farm Arena. Tickets on sale now at LiveNation.com. Don't miss Ghost.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Right now, save on USDA Choice Boneless New York Strip Steaks. Just $10.99 a pound in the family pack with your digital coupon. Limit 5. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Hey, it's Scott Slade for FGA Roofing. If your home's exterior could use an updated look, or maybe one of your neighbor's designer roofs has caught your eye, and your current roof has started to show its age, then now's the perfect time to check out FGA Roofing for the latest in architectural shingles, timberland shingles, and more. Slate, tile, wood shake, cedar roofs, FGA has them all. FGA Roofing offers 0% financing for 12 months with your good credit. Get the roof you want now and pay over time. Click firstgaroof.com. That's firstgaroof.com.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
expert entrepreneur Ed Milet is on a mission to max out your life.
I'm going to give you a term, QTR, quality time remaining. Your dreams that you think you're going to get around to doing, but you don't do very much. Start your QTR list, at least with yourself, and start creating more quality time remaining moments because you've got limited time left. Start talking about it. Could change your life. Man, it might change the world if we get enough of this out there. God bless you.
The Ed Milet Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
All right, some people might want to cover their children's ears. But I do have to do this story because I find it ridiculous. Wimbledon is going on, and this is not about their AI judging.
Oh, boy.
Oh, they don't have line judges anymore?
No. A lot of the other places don't either, although some people are saying that grass works differently and you need line judges, but no, they got rid of them. And everything's tradition there. So you suddenly lose that. And there have been, at one point, some human accidentally turned it off, and that was a big problem. And
got the moment if you want to hear it.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, here's the moment.
Yeah, Pavlyuchenkova was waiting for a call here. I think. Yeah, she's saying that it missed by a way.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to just quickly check if the system was up and running because there was no audio.
Ooh.
So we did hear the system say stop, stop. So we need confirmation here.
Well, this is a first, isn't it, with the electronic line calling?
Apparently, it was a very easy call. It was out. It was out.
The greatest argument of all time comes out of Wimbledon when the chalk flew up and John McEnroe was called out and he lost his mind and he had the argument with the line judge. You can't do that with a robot.
Well, that's right. It's removing. Now, there is some human. The guy who said stop, stop, right? I mean, there's somebody, but they're not calling anything.
I believe that the actual stop is an automated
response.
No,
yeah, they
from
said
the
the
AI.
system said stop,
Oh,
stop.
yeah, because the system, when it's calling stuff, it's using old voices that people are used to at Wimbledon. It's very strange.
The Brits, they're always
strange.
strange.
But this is a different story. Brooks Nader, is she a supermodel of some kind, an actress? I don't know. She's famous to enough that this headline says Brooks Nader as if I know who the hell she is.
American model.
Okay, Brooks Nader
had a lot of work.
Started her period at Wimbledon, and people are praising her for how she handled the situation. I would not praise her for how she handled the situation, which was she took a selfie of the back of her dress with blood on it. I mean, people have accidents all the time. When I'm not, if you, sometimes you go, uh-oh, I think there's something in my pants. Am I supposed to then take a picture of that? And it just...
Yes, Eric.
Handle your business.
Eric, I was at the tractor pull and I had an accident and I took a picture of it and I didn't get nothing.
You are so brave.
Thank you.
It just, feminism has had a lot of positive things to say and has pointed out many things that were true that needed to be dealt with. Here's the biggest fiction of feminism I've ever come across, that men were taught that when women had that time of the month, there was something evil and dirty about them and untouchable. I was never taught the idea that the patriarchal system said that when women have their period, it's an awful... I was never taught this growing up in America. I was taught it's a system, it's a thing, it's the way that it happens, and life goes on. Hey, feminists, you don't need that one. No boy was ever brought up to hate women who have periods. Can you throw that one out? Alex Williams says the brake light battle on 85? This makes no sense. You say it. You say it. You say it.
Alex Williams sees the brake light battle on 85 out of Fairburn.
He sees it. What's he doing about it? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, come on, Alex.
I am letting you know about it so you don't get in it. 85 northbound. I would not access I-85 between Fairburn and Union City because this long-standing crash is still there in two left lanes. 85 northbound at Flat Shoals, exit number 66. Very slow back before Highway 74, Sonoya Road, exit 61. That means using Highway 29 as an alternate. If you're traveling 85 south through Norcross, got better news. That earlier stall has cleared from the center lane. They just towed that away. Highway before Jimmy Carter Boulevard, exit number 99. How are things looking on 285 circling the city, Andrew Seco?
Usually a sign for stress, Alex. Today, a sigh of relief. Lighter than normal volume around 285. We're seeing just a little bit of stoppage. 285 East leaving Norcross all the way down towards Clarkston, breaking free at Ponce de Leon Avenue, exit number 40. And stoppage either way, 285 north and southbound, taking you from South Cobb Drive down towards I-20. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage on any age, system, make, or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Summer's a time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or your tan. Hey guys, it's Mark Aram here. I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. There's absolutely no one in hair restoration I trust more than Advanced Hair. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair summer sales event on for a limited time, so get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 470-660-HAIR. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and take advantage of their best offer ever. That's 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com. 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk. News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
It is 6 o'clock. I'm Veronica Waters. The news this hour is brought to you by the Lloyd Advisory Group. WSB's top local story.
They killed my baby.
The fiancé of Cornelius Taylor, the homeless man run over in his tent as the city of Atlanta moved to clear out a homeless camp on Old Wheat Street in January, is still in pain as the city plans now to clear that camp once and for all come Thursday morning.
I'm hurting because I thought that after all of this, that we would have a place to call home.
But in fact, the city of Atlanta says that the residents there will have a place to call home. Shatiqua Ellison is director of special projects for housing in the city of Atlanta.
We've secured for Old Wheat Street, we've secured housing units for every person who is a resident of Old Wheat Street.
They say they've counted 14 people, many of which have already agreed to the housing, which would put them up along with services and supplies for at least a year's time. But community advocates say the numbers aren't adding up. They say there are some 28 people there at that camp, and they want the city to make the numbers right and not try to leave others behind. The cleanout is expected to begin Thursday morning at 7:30. It's 94 degrees now in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says we can expect some warm temperatures overnight, mostly clear skies, lows around 75. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. 2 Democrats have their sights set on a seat on the Georgia Public Service Commission as early voting begins today.
Last month's Democratic primary for District 3 on the PSC saw none of the 3 candidates secure the needed 50% majority vote to move ahead ahead to the November ballot to face incumbent Republican Commissioner Fitz Johnson. Now, the top two vote-getters, Peter Hubbard and Keisha Waits, enter a statewide runoff. Early voting continues through the rest of the week ahead of Election Day next Tuesday. The commission oversees Georgia's utility companies and is responsible for approving rate increases that impact your monthly bills. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
A mistrial in the first trial for one of the defendants accused of trying to stop construction of Atlanta's new public safety training center. The trial was set to start in Fulton County today, but it didn't happen. Judge Kevin Farmer telling the panel of jurors already assembled,
I am going to declare a mistrial in this case, which means y'all are done.
The Court of Appeals told the courtroom that the news media and public should not have been excluded from jury selection, a move that was done by the previous judge in the case, Judge Kimberly Esmond Adams. Now, a new trial will be set for Ayla King with a new jury pool. King is charged with violating the state's racketeering law. An officer with the Georgia Department of Community Supervision has been suspended from her job, currently jailed in Douglas County without bond for a DUI. The GDCS says Officer Alexis Friendly is accused of driving drunk while operating a state vehicle. She was arrested July 4th and removed from her public safety duties. She's being held now without bond. A triple-digit property tax hike is likely coming for residents in Austell. Mayor Ollie Clemens tells Channel 2 Action News the time has come.
Raising taxes isn't popular, so we've been kicking the can down the road, if you will, probably even preceding me.
Residents, though, calling this hike excessive. One man says it's not on them to bail out the city.
You caused this. Fix it.
2 more public hearings are on the calendar, one happening right now, the last next Monday at 6. The council will then vote on the tax hike, which is an expected 158%. A cast member of MTV's 16 and Pregnant show is arrested for felony involuntary manslaughter in Floyd County. Now 33, Whitney Purvis is charged with supplying the drug Trank. That's a mixture of fentanyl and the veterinary anesthesia xylazine to a man named John Harris, leading to his overdose in February. Purvis's teen son died about a month ago. Reports said that death was probably natural causes, but that an autopsy was pending. It's 6:04. Time now for the Von Hessler Doctrine to, continue for you in less than 2 minutes. But you know what it's time for? WSB Triple Team Traffic. Alex Williams is kicking off our WSB Triple Team Traffic.
And we are still watching this long-standing travel advisory in Union City, Veronica. 2 left lanes remain blocked. I don't see it clearing anytime soon. 85 northbound, Flat Shoals, exit 66. You're stacked up back before Highway 74, Sonoya Road in Fairburn. That means using Highway 29 as an alternate. Traveling on the West Freeway, 20 westbound, tapping the brakes, leaving 285 out to Thornton Road, exit 44 in Lithia Springs. And on Thornton Road northbound, still got this crash at North Blair's Bridge Road. Only a left lane is open, and that has really slowed the ride back before Factory Shoals, also impacting those I-20 ramps to Thornton Road if you're trying to take Thornton Road northbound there. How is the ride to the northern suburbs, Andrew Seco?
Seeing a little volume north and south in Norcross 85. We're still seeing the delays southbound from that earlier trouble spot at Indian Trail Road. That's exit 101 delays back into 316. Northbound, we're slow leaving 285 up towards Beaver Ruin Road. 400 looking okay with a little stoppage through Sandy Springs, and 75 northbound. Just some volume taking you from North Marietta Parkway all the way up towards Chastain Road, exit 271. From the Coolray Area Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now, Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of Atlanta. Here's WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Fair skies and staying hot this evening. Sunset around 9 o'clock. Temperatures still in the low 90s at that time, and staying warm through tomorrow morning with lows in the mid-70s. Tomorrow afternoon, partly cloudy, mainly dry, though an isolated pop-up shower can't be ruled out, high 93. A few more of those pop-up storms on Wednesday, high 92. Thursday and Friday, partly to mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms, highs in the upper 80s to low 90s.
Right now it's 93 degrees in Woodstock, 93 in Fayetteville, and 95 in Midtown Atlanta at 606 on Peachtree Street. More news coming up at 6:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 4 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. I don't think the Dalai Lama usually celebrates birthdays, but now 90 years old. Dalai.
Has he found the next young boy who will be the next Dalai Lama?
Well, that's the thing. I don't want to, Greg Russ is with us, I want to bring him in on this, but I read an article a couple weeks ago, And I just was just laughing to myself with just what's going on here. Because now China says they're going to be able to pick the next one.
So there'll be two.
There will be competing Dalai Lamas. And the one that China picks is going to say, I think China should take over Tibet. Well, they actually are, but, in real ruling and have everyone accept it. But basically they made a movie out of this. There was a movie, I believe, with...
7 Years in Tibet or something?
No, wasn't there like Keanu Reeves? Wasn't he in it? Is that the one where they look for the next Dalai Lama?
I think so.
Hey, Greg, you're welcome to, be a part of this conversation. I want you to know. But...
I don't know if I have any.
I don't want you.
thoughts on
Well, I
the
just don't want you to
Dalai
be, sitting over there,
Lama.
just like I'm ignoring you. No, well, you'll have thoughts on this. So the idea is they go and they scour the country, maybe the world. I don't know. In that movie, didn't they find one in Seattle or something? They scour and they look for like the 3-year-old or 4-year-old, and they just keep testing with some sort of, if they know this or know that. Supposedly,
it's like if you pick something on a blanket.
Yeah, and it means that you remember the past life or something like that.
Yeah.
And then they there's no real other way to put it, other than the fact that I guess the parents are honored. Once they decide that your child is the new Dalai Lama, they kidnap you. They basically take you away from your family and then educate you through your life so that by the time you're, a teenager or something, you can be the next Dalai Lama. Now we're going to have 2 kidnappings. One by China and one by the Dalai Lama. But
It's an honor. It's an honor to have your child kidnapped.
Take it away from you. Imagine, I guess you have to be open to it. But given the culture, you would be honored, right? And
do you get a choice like the Amish? No, the Amish get the choice on
with
whether
the Dalai Lama, when he's 13, does he get like Rumspringa or whatever that's called?
You can go party in Beijing.
Yeah. I don't think so. So as a libertarian-spirited person, I'm not in favor. I don't care what it is. I'm not in favor of showing up when somebody's 3 or 4 years old and saying, you belong to us now, and we'll train you so that you can be the next thing. Not just
one day
this.
you'll appreciate it.
Yes.
Decades from now.
Yeah.
Well, it's certainly stuck with this guy, right? He's been doing it for a long time. I guess if you ask him, are you glad that happened? He's glad that it happened.
Has he been the Dalai Lama since he was a tiny boy?
Yes, yeah, he was found, and he was abducted, and he was
I never
trained.
knew him until he was older,
That's cool. Most of us didn't find out about him until Richard Gere started getting all mouthy about it.
Yeah, we didn't really start knowing about it.
Yeah, he wasn't. Well,
It was like kissy moment a couple years ago. Remember where he was?
Oh yeah, when
he
he asked the boy to kiss his tongue. That was weird.
Yeah, that was strange.
Maybe he was looking to see if perhaps that could be the next.
That's how you find out.
That's an indicator.
I don't
the tongue
know.
test.
Where does he live?
He lives in
Seattle.
Where does he live? He is not living in Tibet. Hasn't lived in Tibet. I think he left in like 57 or 58. I think China started to really clamp down.
He hasn't lived there?
No, he can't.
India.
He's in
in
exile.
India.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's in exile because China.
You gotta watch that movie. That's the only reason why I know any of this is because that movie we can't remember, which I think is
Little
7 years in
Buddha.
Tibet.
Little Buddha. Very close. 7 years in Tibet, Little Buddha.
That's really close.
Very close.
I almost had it.
But at least you saw the movie. I've never even actually seen the movie. So, yeah. So, China does not like the influence of that form of Buddhism. Was it Tibetan?
Mm-hmm.
So they've outlawed it since like the 50s, and so he ran in 57. I don't mean that in a bad way. He got it. He exiled out to.
I just like scram.
I'd scram if the entire government was coming after me.
Yeah.
And so basically, the Dalai Lamas from this side the Dalai Lama side will live in exile, I guess, as long as China still is China.
It looks like very little of Tibet is habitable. It's mostly desert, so just a very small part of it that's in China.
And here's the thing that will really upset some people who love, and I have nothing against the Dalai Lama. He said some things that are pretty inspirational, I think, from time to time. Sometimes a real housewife will say something inspirational. I'm not, but there is what's not looked into because of the Richard Gere romance of all of this is that when they did rule in Tibet, if you didn't get on board with what they were preaching, your life wasn't so easy. And so some people actually welcomed the Chinese in. Now, was that most people? Probably not. But it's a little bit of nuance in there that we don't, meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Every government's going to turn into a big pile of you-know-what. That's just the way that it is. The powerful will always just hurt you just because they can. That's always going to happen.
But
And
they'll tell
might,
you they won't.
Oh, they'll tell you they won't. And sometimes they do it and say, this is important for tradition and culture. And sometimes they'll do it and say, well, God wants us to punish you this way. And all kinds of reasons for powerful people to just harm others that aren't as powerful for them. And they don't want to come out and just say, I'm a sadomasochist. Nobody wants to admit that. So they dress it up. Hey, I got a reason God will like the fact that you torture that person and then cut their head off. Really?
What stupid creatures.
Yeah, we are. We're not. Yeah, look at human beings.
We're so smart. That's the problem. You think we're so smart.
Well, we're just animals, right? And we just do what animals do, which is just kill each other. Although we're worse than most animals because most animals kill each other for food.
Not money and power.
Or money, power, or even just for the fun of it. Now, cats.
Yes.
Cats kill for the fun of it. They're about the only ones. Now,
They're vicious.
they know? Do they know they're? I don't know. I don't know if it's.
I think
They're playing
just,
with it.
And they're just wired.
They just wired that way, and it's like, oh, the thing died.
The thing is moving, and I
Yeah.
have to catch it.
Yeah.
If I have to kill it to catch it, that's going to happen.
But there seems to be. Go ahead.
Well, being smart is where you could say we're wired to do the same thing, but being smart is supposed to be.
Right.
You recognize that, and then you don't do it. But instead, we put those smarts to developing the weapon that could eradicate us all.
AI.
Well, yes, that and nuclear weapons.
Nuclear
Isn't
weapons.
it amazing? The only animal who has ensured their own destruction.
Well, that is true, Carl Sagan. It absolutely
If we do not
is
destroy
true.
ourselves, we will venture to the stars.
no point in that.
Nobody's venturing to the stars. I mean, just enough of this.
Hey, I'm just repeating Carl's. Don't
I
kill
know.
If we could,
Carl
then maybe
Sagan
we
message.
wouldn't do this stuff. But it's too difficult to venture to the stars. So
There's no
instead we
way. It's
turn
all
to-
of-
No point.
So much BS around all of this. It's just not. It's just not going to happen. We're not going to live on Mars. Mars is
the moon, maybe.
It's
Don't know, Eric.
Yes, he
Fight.
does. It's impossible.
It's not a
It
great
seems
place
like
to
fun.
raise the
Maybe it'd be
kids.
cool.
Yeah.
They got great schools over
You'd
there.
have to live underground.
Is there life on Mars?
It's cold as hell. I'll tell you that. In fact,
People
it's
like
cold
it.
as
Some
hell.
people like the cold.
How about Venus? It's warm.
Venus is too warm.
It's too warm. This is
What about
the
the moon?
Goldilocks thing.
The moon is, another thing, and nobody even talks about like the radiation in space. I mean, hey, have fun. Hey, go to Mars. When you get back in 18 months, we'll have a doctor here for this certain cancer that you're going to bring back with you.
Well, you don't come back.
Oh, that's easy to do. That's easy to do. I mean,
Yeah,
first of
just
all,
grow
you're not going to be
potatoes, I saw in a
70.
movie.
You're not going to be 70. So you're going
That's
to
why
be.
we have to send the boomers there. The boomers need to go to
Yeah,
Mars.
they can't get a rocket ship to Mars. They're old.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
What
they-
button is
As
this?
long as there's a Brewster's.
I mean, people will pay $1,000 to hear Paul McCartney not sing, but you really think they're going to trust him going to Mars? It's not going to happen. It's gonna be-
What was the plan with the astronauts who went to the moon? Let's say Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and then the lander didn't fire, and they were just stuck there. There had to be a way for
There was a
instant
speech.
death.
No, there was a speech.
I know there was a
Nixon
speech.
had a speech.
I know they had prepared for that, but
I
the
didn't make it.
astronauts themselves, did they just have to sit there and wait, or did
Yeah,
they
but
give them cyanide?
apparently no, because it's not a. It's obviously mentally would be draining if you knew it was happening, but it is not a particularly vicious death. You fall asleep. You fall asleep before you die, and you're basically gone before all the bad things, like whatever happens, like your blood starts boiling and all that. The gravity that keeps the blood in one place allows it to go all over. And so it's basically, I think, dying on the moon of natural causes is falling asleep on the moon, as far as you're concerned. Now, you're smart enough to get to the moon, so you know exactly what's going on while you're getting drowsy. So it's not as if it's not mentally taxing. But I think that was the plan. I think that they would just be, okay, you're just going to go to sleep and you're going to die. And then your blood's going to fly all over the place. Start.
Could
get
you imagine
like a
you
real
made
Megyn
the
Kelly
landing?
situation.
You survived the launch, and then you got to the moon. You survived the landing, and then you press that button to go back to the capsule.
Nope.
It just doesn't work.
And that's it. And again, the idea of living on Mars, or even like you said, just stay there. What 35-year-old goes to Mars,
So
and
they
then
said the
for
old
the
people.
next they can't do it. You need young people who can get it done.
Old people that are motivated to stay. How about that?
I'm saying just getting the ship there. You can't have somebody go, oh, my sciatica, 4 months into a 9-month journey. You got to have young people. And then when you get up there, you're going to spend the next, until the day you die, just looking back at the earth. No one.
Well, that's where we're talking about the cyanide. You cheek that
Yeah.
on the way.
Yeah.
Then if you need it, just
believe me,
bite down.
you will
I
need
think
it.
we get the Brian Johnsons of the world, the millionaires that want to live forever.
No,
that
they're
are already kind of older.
No, the
put them
millionaires
on the
and
rocket.
billionaires who want to live forever are already cowards because they're afraid to face death. Alex Williams has better news on 85 in Norcross.
Yeah, second stall of the day, and this time it was a big rig, and they held all lanes now off to the right. 85 southbound Indian Trail Road, exit 101. Took a few minutes to get it there, but all lanes are back open, so those brake lights back up in Duluth from Highway 316 will start to improve. Now on the south side, this long-standing travel advisory looks like it's not going anywhere anytime soon. 2 left lanes blocked. 85 northbound Flat Shoals, exit 66. You are slow back before Highway 74 Sonoya Road. That means continuing to use Highway 29 to head up to the airport as an alternate. How are things looking through downtown Atlanta, Andrew Seco?
Improving really well with the volume. Northbound moving at a speed limit ride as you're leaving East Point all the way up into Midtown. Southbound still have some stoppage as you leave 85 proper. Those brake lights taking you all the way down towards I-20. This is sponsored by Stone Mountain Park. Visit Stone Mountain Park and enjoy attractions like the Sky Ride and Dinosaurs Explore Plus. Catch the Music Across America Drone and Light Show. Get your tickets at stonemountainpark.com. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Topical. I feel for you if you've been working from home.
Local.
They're suing the landlord. The lawsuit filed in Cobb County Superior
Getting
Court.
you through your
It's
morning.
good stuff for this show. It's good stuff for the radio station.
Mark Arrow.
That's about all I ask.
Mark Arrow.
Tomorrow at 9 a.m.
95.5 WSB. Atlanta's News and Talk.
Oh, there it goes again. I think old Rusty's had her last ride.
Aw, I think you're right. It's time to let her go. But what if she could still do some good?
What do you mean?
Well, we can donate it to the Tommy Nobis Center.
Really?
They take old cars, running or not, and use the proceeds to help people with disabilities find jobs.
So instead of Rusty just sitting in the driveway, she could help someone who needs a job?
Exactly. And donating is easy. They pick it up for free.
That's a great idea.
Donate your vehicle to Tommy Nobis Center and help people with disabilities gain meaningful employment. Visit TommyNobisCenter.org to donate.
A DUI conviction could cost you your career, threaten your way of life, and even compromise your future job prospects. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler. With all this on the line, trust only the best. George Stein, the DUI lawyer. Go to georgestein.com.
This upcoming health tip is brought to you by Kroger Pharmacy. Keep windows closed to reduce pollen entering the house. Install high-efficiency filters and change them frequently. When changing, place the used filter in a plastic garbage bag, then dispose outdoors to limit accidental pollen spills indoors. Your neighborhood Kroger Pharmacy is happy to welcome back Express Scripts, Medicare D, and TRICARE Department of Defense Plan members. It's easy to transfer prescriptions at Kroger.com/pay-or-update. See your Kroger Pharmacy for details.
This is Monica Pearson for Superior Plumbing, the honest plumber. Like me, Superior Plumbing has been doing business for more than 40 years. Trust me, to last that long takes dedication to doing the job right and building trust with your customer base. I've used Superior Plumbing for years, and owner Jay Cunningham is committed to making you a customer for life, too. Next time you need a plumber, visit thehonestplumber.com.
Is that knee, hip, or shoulder pain just not getting any better? Are you stuck in a cycle of steroid shots and now they're talking surgery? Before you go down that road, hit pause for a second. Hey, it's Mark Arum. I want to tell you about something that helped a lot of people get their lives back without more meds and without going under the knife. It's QC Kinetics, leaders in regenerative medicine using treatments like advanced cellular therapy and platelet-rich plasma, all designed to actually help your body heal itself. No more masking the pain. This goes right to the root of the problem. Their cellular treatments contain growth factors and healing properties to maximize your own body's ability to heal itself. And this is critical. 92% of patients report satisfaction with the results. That's not just a number. It's peace of mind that you're exploring something that's truly working for people just like you. Real results that let you move easier and live better. Call QC Kinetics today, 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026.
George, I have yet something else for you to look up.
Yes.
So, in Tibet, if the lamas that, which I believe, if you're not that just means the top lama, right? I think that's, so let's say the monks whose job it is to go find the next Dalai Lama. If they decide that your child is the reincarnation of the Dalai Lama, and this just being in Tibet, do you have the right to refuse? Like, and not with Chinese intervention. I want to know, like, in the days like the 50, if the monks come up and say, we've tested your child, and your child is showing signs of remembering a previous life. That's how they test them. Are the parents allowed to say, no, go find some other? Because in terms of reincarnation, they can only go into one body.
Correct.
Can't go into 10, and we'll take one of these.
There's technically only been 14 Dalai Lamas.
Right, but I mean, there can only be one at a time. So if the parents said, no, you're not taking our kid, they would just have to kind of fold up and go, okay, we're done because we're not getting the next. Oh, both of you have answers.
ChatGPT says it's not legally binding, and parental consent is essential in the modern world.
In the modern world. What was going on in the 50s?
Yeah, for the third Dalai Lama.
Yeah, like what was going on then? I don't think you had a chance to basically say, don't take my child from me. Although maybe you got some good benefits, some good bennies out of it.
You get some money, maybe.
Super Bowl tickets.
Take some livestock, some fruit.
Super Bowl tickets.
And maybe it's not like you weren't ever allowed to see your parents again, was it? I mean,
well, you didn't have any
that was the
control.
case?
You didn't have any control.
But if you're like,
they're
hey,
no longer. Yeah, you can go visit your child.
How you doing?
Yeah, but you can't say, "Oh,
How's
don't listen."
being llama?
You can't say, "Don't listen to what that monk just said." You're not allowed to do that as a parent, which you are able to do with neighbors. Did you ever find anything in the 50s or 40s?
I looked up, has there ever been a Dalai Lama that was made to do it against their parents' will, and it says not well documented.
Not well documented. Well, a lot of this stuff. This guy's been Dalai Lama since what, 56 or 57, something like that.
Yeah.
Nearly.
Is this llama on TikTok?
Good question. Good question.
I have not run across this llama.
On your TikTok pages?
On my TikTok
feed, I should say.
My 4
We need to give it the time so you can spread the message. You know, therapists are on TikTok now.
Sure. The Ayatollahs of Iran are on TikTok.
Mm-hmm. You're right,
everything's gaslighting. Everything is abuse and neglect.
It was after they went into exile that they became more modernized and mindful of consent.
Yes. So before then,
59, yeah.
Okay. So before then, the answer, because whenever a religion runs the government, you're saying no to the government. That was just, okay, well, you'll either go to prison or whatever. We're the government. We're going to kind of do whatever we want. Yeah. Or you could be easily disappeared.
There is the Dalai Lama TikTok.
Oh, is he doing that joke about Dalai Lama goes to a hot dog stand and says I would like one with everything?
He hasn't done that yet, but he is hawking methylene blue.
Well, good. He caught up with Jim Baker.
Yes.
That's a joke, folks. It would be upsetting. But if you upset Buddhists, they have to be peaceful about it.
Exactly. There's a group to piss off, it would be them.
Better not come to the airport in L.A.
I'm more of a Zen guy. That's where which is a form of Buddhism. But even deeper than that, Taoism. That's where I am. If I'm anywhere, I'm at the Taoism, not Zen Buddhism, but Taoism, because it's not about the next life. It's about how to properly live this life.
Can you pass off avoidance as Zen? That's what I'd like to do. I just want to avoid everything. But when
you
people
can
ask,
pass it off. Sure.
Say it's Zen.
Yeah. If you don't want to have an argument, just say, I'm feeling blissed out. So
I want to say, I think this account I found is not the official, but
yeah, I didn't think that.
Oh, is it a funny account?
No, it's just a Dalai Lama world, and then there's the Dalai Lama official, but
right.
I don't think
just go to Richard Gere's account. Nobody knows him better than the star of such great films that I can't remember a name. What was the Blondie one? She sang the song.
American Gigolo.
American Gigolo. Thank you very much. Alex Williams is checking the ride around 285.
One of the better ones we've seen, 285 southbound, the outer loop on the west side, just a very slight tap of the brakes, leaving South Cobb Drive, exit 15. A lot of that's the right lane merging madness, trying to get onto I-20, the West Freeway. In DeKalb County, 285 southbound, the inner loop's looking pretty good through Tucker and Clarkston. Some east and northbound delays through the work zone in DeKalb, leaving flat shoals as you make your way up past I-20. Brakes free once you get up to Glenwood Road, exit number 44. Checking some of the other rides, Andrew Seco.
As we head 85 southbound, have some extra brake lights leaving Duluth with earlier trouble that's been moved to the shoulder outside Beaver Ruin Road, exit 102 northbound. Just a little bit of stoppage leaving 285 up towards Indian Trail Road. 400 working well north and southbound between Sandy Springs and Alpharetta. And 75 north and south, just some scattered volume either direction. Nothing to warrant an alternate, just a few brake lights between 575 and 285. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a Reliable Protection Plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage on any age system, make, or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Is that knee, hip, or shoulder pain just not getting any better? Are you stuck in a cycle of steroid shots and now they're talking surgery? Before you go down that road, hit pause for a second. Hey, it's Mark Ehrman. I want to tell you about something that helped a lot of people get their lives back without more meds and without going under the knife. It's QC Kinetics, leaders in regenerative medicine using treatments like advanced cellular therapy and platelet-rich plasma, all designed to actually help your body heal itself. No more masking the pain. This goes right to the root of the problem. Their cellular treatments contain growth factors and healing properties to maximize your own body's ability to heal itself. And this is critical. 92% of patients report satisfaction with the results. That's not just a number. It's peace of mind that you're exploring something that's truly working for people just like you. Real results that let you move easier and live better. Call QC Kinetics today, 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026.
Hi, this is Candace from Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. But today, instead of giving you a home remodeling tip, my tip is don't just take my word for it. For over 20 years, you've heard me on the radio sharing remodeling advice. But if you really want to know what sets Exovations apart, go read our reviews. At Exovations.com, you'll find hundreds of real stories from real homeowners who have trusted us with their exterior remodeling projects. From decks, siding, windows, doors, paint, roofing, porticos, and so much more. You'll see words like amazing work, incredible experience from start to finish, and again, stress-free. That's not just what we say, it's what our customers say. So yes, I'm Candace from Exovations, but don't just listen to me. Listen to our reviews. At Exovations, we do projects on time, on budget, and without all that stress. Google Exovations or visit EXOVATIONS.com.
What is All Care? All Care is expert urgent care and primary care under a single roof, offering convenience and continuity for your healthcare needs. All Care is a team of physicians and clinicians who know you and your medical history, so they can provide the personalized care you deserve. And with both family and immediate care services offered 7 days a week, All Care means seeing your doctor on your schedule. 15 convenient locations, same-day appointments, and walk-ins welcome. Remember, urgent care plus primary care equals All Care. Learn more at allcare-ga.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 6:30. I'm Veronica Waters. The news this half hour is brought to you by Mark Spain Real Estate. WSB's top local story, a woman indicted for the Stop Cop City protests will have to wait for their day in court. Ayla King's racketeering trial, expected to kick off today, was cut short by a mistrial. The Georgia Court of Appeals ruled that the previous judge, Fulton County Superior Court Judge Kimberly Esmond Adams, was wrong to bar the public and media from jury selection. Current Judge Kevin Farmer plans to pick another jury, but King's attorney Suri Jimenez hopes to halt this case altogether.
We are ready to file a plea in bar, asking for the court to dismiss all charges against Ms. King and bar any further prosecution.
The judge anticipates the trial will restart in September or October. Widespread losses for investors in the Dow Jones, NASDAQ, and S&P 500 today as President Trump says he will hit Japan and South Korea with 25% tariffs on their goods and has sent letters to more than a dozen other countries to announce tariff plans. All told, the S&P 500 fell 49 points to 6,229. That's its biggest loss since mid-June. The Dow lost 422 points to 44,406, and the NASDAQ slid 188 0.59 points to 20,412. From Austell, a triple-digit property tax hike is on the horizon, and WSB's Lisa Nicholas reports that residents are not feeling it today.
Austell Mayor Ollie Clemens has told residents the city's been running at a deficit for years, and that's why officials are proposing what amounts to a 158% property tax increase. A similar measure failed last year, and this resident says it should this year as well.
Now you're asking us to bail you out. We say again, no, you caused this, fix it.
Mayor Clemens says he believes the $3 million revenue boost would help move the city away from what he calls a crisis mode for the government. Lisa Nicholas, 95.5 WSB.
An update on a story we've been following for you from the weekend. A 4-year-old girl who was trapped under a pontoon boat when it capsized on Lake Oconee has died. It happened in Putnam County on July 4th. A large wave sent the 12 occupants to the back of the boat in a panic, and it flipped. The death toll from catastrophic flooding in Texas over the July 4th weekend is at 104 and possibly counting as search and rescue teams carry on with the search for the dead, using heavy equipment to untangle trees and wade into swollen rivers. This comes as questions are being raised about the region's warning and emergency notification system and the role that might have played in catching everybody off guard. Experts and former federal workers had warned President Trump's staffing cuts to the National Weather Service could endanger lives. Meanwhile, Tropical Depression Chantal causes major flooding in North Carolina. From Durham County.
Gone through multiple hurricanes and never had anything like this. I was sleeping and the neighbor called me and told me to get up, that we were flooding.
The Highway Patrol confirms at least one flood-related death in the Tar Heel State. A woman traveling into floodwaters Sunday was swept off a roadway in Chatham County. Education advocates are calling on the Trump administration to release already allocated federal education funds specifically for after-school programs. Katie Landis, director of the Georgia statewide after-school network, says some $40 million for Georgia's programs are quote-unquote under review. That impacts some 27,000 children.
This is FY25 funding that was already appropriated by Congress, that the state was expecting, and that programs had already been planning for and expecting.
In a statement, Georgia School Superintendent Richard Wood says he's calling for the funds to be released, quote, so we can ensure the success of our students. A popular Virginia Highland gelato shop is trying to recover after a recent fire.
Paolo's Gelato has been serving the Italian dessert staple for 26 years, but a recent fire caused serious damage to the store, ruining expensive pieces of equipment. Owner Paolo Dalla Zorza says,
the insurance, they say, oh, you can have the loss income or loss of this, loss of that, but how long is it going to take?
He's now selling gelato a few days a week from a cart outside the store. A neighboring shop is allowing him to use their kitchen and their power. He says he's amazed by the community's support. A GoFundMe has raised more than $8,000 to help the store recover. In Virginia Highland, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
It's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather at 6:34. WSB Triple Team Traffic getting you home. Alex Williams, how's it looking out there?
I'm trying to clean up that ride through Midtown and downtown Veronica, but still seeing some brake lights. 75, 85 southbound, starting right around 17th Street, maybe just before the bridge there. But the closer you get to I-20, the better that ride is going to get. Northbound, still on and off the brakes, but that improving as well. 75, 85 northbound from University Avenue up to Peachtree Pine Street. What's not improving is I-85 in Union City, Andrew Seco.
No, it is not. Several left lanes knocked out. Long-standing crash with this one, 85 northbound at Flat Hills Road, exit 66. Delays all the way back past Fairburn Road. That's the home of the Renaissance Festival. Avoid the area here, folks. Take Highway 29 to get in and out of the area. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast. Here's WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Fair skies and staying hot this evening. Sunset around 9 o'clock. Temperatures still in the low 90s at that time and staying warm through tomorrow morning with lows in the mid-70s. Tomorrow afternoon, partly cloudy, mainly dry, though an isolated pop-up shower can't be ruled out, high 93. A few more of those pop-up storms on Wednesday, high 92. Thursday and Friday, partly to mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms, highs in the upper 80s to low 90s.
Right now it's 93 degrees in McDonough, it's 89 in Mableton, and 96 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 6:36. More news at 7 o'clock and breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Steel Horse Law knows your bike is made of steel, but your heart is made of gold. SteelHorseLaw.com.
You know kids will ruin your life, right? Especially if you're a garage door. I mean, babies are adorable, don't get me wrong. But after that adorable phase where they barf and poop on everything, they turn into a cheap garage door's worst nightmare. Whacking tennis balls against the door all day, up and down every time they ride a bike. You dreamy young'uns might have the energy to start a family, but that rusty avocado green aluminum garage door that came with your house is too old for this jazz. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Modern, insulated garage doors are built to stand up to family life. They resist dents, they don't ring like a gong when you whack them with a puck, and they go up and down, super quiet, as many times as your kids change their minds. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll treat you like family.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
You know, I've had listeners, coworkers, friends come up and ask me, hey, Aram, what makes Advanced Hair Restoration different? Well, allow me to share, along with some details on, get this, their once-a-year summer savings event. First off, Advanced Hair stands by the results, and their before and afters are second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creating a concierge-quality experience that's hard to find elsewhere. Finally, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. Quick, simple, and easy. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for the savings special opportunity, it's here, friends. Advanced Hair Summer Savings Event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details and to schedule your free consultation, call 770-660-HAIR. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair guaranteed to grow. 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
I don't think I'm going to play this, but I do find it interesting that you have an audio of Flavor Flav calling for a complete and total ban of U.S. citizens owning firearms. The only reason I'm not, I love Public Enemy, but does he not understand that you would have to change the Constitution of the United States?
No.
You can't, you can't just, do people not understand that you can't just pass a law? That it doesn't matter how much you don't like it. It's the Second Amendment of
He says
the
it very
Constitution.
eloquently in a very Flavor Flav
I
way.
don't want to make fun of Flavor Flav because I love him, but I just think that there's just a lack of understanding here. If you want no guns allowed, you have to have another amendment that nullifies
the Second Amendment.
The Second Amendment. And I've just recently I've been reading the Declaration and the Constitution and the amendments and everything. And I was kind of convinced because I hadn't looked at it in a while that it's kind of vague as to whether or not it means you can have a gun. And I read it the other day. I'm like, oh no, this is obvious. You're allowed to have a gun. This is not vague at all. So it's just like, stop talking about it unless you really want to do what needs to be done, because the only way that you can do it is you need another amendment that nullifies the Second Amendment.
Is it a lack of understanding or a lack of care? Like, I know that people maybe don't realize it takes that much, but I also think that people would give that much power to someone in the government thinking, oh, this is great. This person's going to do what I want them to do, not thinking about the fact that if someone has that much power, they'll use it against them at some point. But I see this happening a lot. It's like, yes, government, come in, save me, fix these things. And some of it seems like it's hopelessness, like, I don't know, middle class being eradicated, no more American dream for a lot of people. But it's like the government, that they're leaning to the government that created the situation, or at least the circumstances that led to the situation they find themselves in, like they're going to fix it.
Yeah, and the idea that, well, I trust this party. They're going to mess with one amendment, but surely they'll stop there because it's just so common sense that, and also, by the way, not for nothing, I want to know that Flavor Flav has never had the benefit of security when doing a concert, especially back when they were really, really, really big. Because don't tell my neighbor they can't have a gun if you're a celebrity who can afford security and they have guns. Yeah, you want a world without guns. You are never protected by guns. The same way that the people you're taking them away from. I don't have with this issue. I don't mock either side. I understand the motivations behind both sides, but neither side has a respect for, on the right, the people who want, the Second Amendment in its fullest form, that's fine with me. But I often find also there's what I call like gun fetishists. It's like, the talk show host who has a calendar of her, wearing different guns with gowns and stuff like that.
Dana Lash.
Hey, by the way, Dana Lash.
was Ellen.
That's not the. No, it was Dana Lash.
I thought it was Ellen.
No. Yes. Dana Lash. That's not the idea of the Second Amendment either. The idea is not to fetishize these things and make them, your own personal Beatles or whatever, your thing. The idea is that you have the right to protect yourself, and we were coming from a point of view where the government that they rebelled against, they had all the guns, and so they didn't want it to go that way. So I can respect both sides, but both sides are also lunatics. The people, I don't do nothing but talk about guns. Yeah, you're not interesting. Okay?
Yeah, but
you're
have
not
you seen this gun, Eric?
Yeah, I'm not interested. I saw the last gun. Fine, you've got guns.
But I got a
Wonderful.
new one.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And then you have people on the other side who are just like, hey, let's just pass a law and outlaw guns. Well, you're ignorant on this. That's not possible. And when something's not possible, think of something else. Hey, the possible thing is really hard. Getting an amendment to the Constitution. This would have to be done the way that Prohibition was an amendment to go in, and then it was an amendment that nullified the previous amendment. It would have to be like that. And if you're not up to that, start talking about something else. Stop with this, hey, we should pass a law. Every law has to speak to the Constitution, and the Second Amendment is pretty clear. Clearer than I was led to believe, because I hadn't read it in a while. And I'd read it and I went, oh, yeah, that obviously people are allowed to have guns. There is militia in there, but the militias are groups of people who own their own guns.
Yeah.
So the gun ownership part is, I think that a lot of times people on the left want to be like, no, it's a militia and it's at a storehouse. And maybe they had some of those things in case they were needed, break glass in case of emergency. But it was basically understood. The founders, as you read through it, you realize they didn't want to really raise a national army. They really didn't want to do that. They didn't want to have the expense of it. They didn't have to. So the idea was basically everybody's going to be conscripted when the stuff hits the fan, and you're all expected to be ready to go. And until then, you just use them to protect yourself. That's basically what I read.
What really helps
wasn't like some female,
Betsy Ross and the guns.
Betsy Ross in her
Look
flag
at my ankle. What really helps identify
doing
this,
a calendar with her guns. That's bizarre.
The Second Amendment really is helped. If you really want to define it, you should read the Federalist Papers that
Yes.
help with it. That really gives it
people
clarity.
were not going to say yes to the Constitution unless they got these things. That's
Right.
what people don't understand. The original idea was the Constitution with no amendments. And people in America were like, nah, this seems too royal. It seems like too much. And so that's what the first 10, the Bill of Rights, were like, okay, if we guarantee this, now will you sign? That's how it started. And people have no, I'll tell you what, you go to school in America for 16 some odd years, you're going to know definitely, you are going to graduate understanding exactly what a bully is and why they need to be stopped. But you will probably graduate without any of the information I just gave you about how the country started. Most people think the Constitution gives them rights. How twisted is that? That most people think that the reason they have rights is because this first government granted them those rights. That's not true at all. The rights are acknowledged. That's a big deal. That a government is not saying we're giving you a right. They're saying is you were born with this right, and we don't have the right to take it away from you unless you F up. Break laws, start causing crime. Well, then now we can put you in jail. Guess what? You don't have your full rights. But we got to take you into court. We got to present you. We got to have a jury. We got to get the jury to agree with us. This is how hard it is for us to for your unalienable rights.
I thought I just
rights you cannot be separated from.
I thought I just trust President here. President handles everything.
President will take care of it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
President Joe.
Yeah, President
No, not
Joe.
Dad. We just had a President Joe.
Do
Dennis.
you want this one?
Yeah, of course.
I'll make sure that all your rights are protected. That's my job.
But that's a sad thing that most people appear to believe that the rights are granted to them by the founders. They're not. The founders are saying you were born with them, and that's going to be the difference between this country and other countries. Your government is going to recognize that you were born with certain rights that you cannot be alienated from. It seems like a small thing. It's not. It's huge, because it means the next president or the next governor can't suddenly change their mind. They have to, in order to take the oath of office, you have to understand that the people you're governing have rights that they were born with that you have nothing to do with. Alex Williams says there's a crash lingering on 85 in Union City.
Yeah, it's been here all afternoon and no change with it, Eric. Still in 2 left lanes, 85 northbound, Flat Shoals Road, exit 66. That's why the travel advisory is in place, because the delays start before Highway 74, Sonoya Road, exit 61. Highway 29 is the fast track to get you around that. We've also been tracking brake lights this afternoon on I-75 as well on the south side, Andrew Seco.
Looks like some leftover holiday travel, Alex, 75 northbound. Just a little extra volume than we usually see this point in an afternoon. The brake light's taking you from Bill Gardner Parkway and Locust Grove, slowing and going you all the way up towards Jotica Road just outside McDonough. That's exit number 222. This report sponsored by John Foy & Associates, personal injury law firm. Injured, give John Foy Personal Injury Lawyers the first shot at evaluating your case. You have absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. John Foy & Associates, the first call you should make to protect your rights. From the Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
You're by the pool.
You're relaxing.
You're sipping a drink.
Someone brings you a towel.
Adjust the umbrella.
Sound like a fantasy?
It's not if you win $1,000 from WSB.
It's WSB's $1,000 Thursdays this Thursday.
Listen for the keyword at 9, 10, and 11 a.m. and 12, 1, 2, and 3 p.m.
Enter the keyword at WSBRadio.com or the WSB app within that hour, and you could win $1,000. Get all the info at WSBRadio.com.
$1,000 Thursdays
from 95.5 WSB,
where Atlanta wins.
You know kids will ruin your life, right? Especially if you're a garage door. I mean, babies are adorable, don't get me wrong. But after that adorable phase where they barf and poop on everything, they turn into a cheap garage door's worst nightmare. Whacking tennis balls against the door all day, up and down every time they ride a bike. You dreamy young'uns might have the energy to start a family, but that rusty avocado green aluminum garage door that came with your house is too old for this jazz. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Modern, insulated garage doors are built to stand up to family life. They resist dents, they don't ring like a gong when you whack them with a puck, and they go up and down, super quiet, as many times as your kids change their minds. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll treat you like family.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Steel Horse Law knows that your bike is made of steel, but your heart is made of gold. If someone causes you to lay your bike down, you deserve the very best from an experienced firm that knows bikers, because they are bikers. Eric Von Hassler for Steel Horse Law, the Stein and Karen Law Group. They're local, so they understand the changes to Georgia law, and you'll meet directly with your attorney, not just an assistant like the mega firms. Schedule your free accident evaluation at steelhorselaw.com.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
expert entrepreneur Ed Milet is on a mission to max out your life.
I'm going to give you a term, QTR, quality time remaining. Your dreams that you think you're going to get around to doing, but you don't do very much. Start your QTR list, at least with yourself, and start creating more quality time remaining moments because you've got limited time left. Start talking about it to change your life. Man, it might change the world if we get enough of this out there. God bless you.
The Ed Milet Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
I'm excited, Eric. Let me be excited.
Jared Yamamoto is excited. He thinks Giannis is coming to the Atlanta Hawks.
We are now the highest betting odds. So
it's better than being the lowest.
That's true.
Where do you see that? Poly Market?
I can't remember where I saw it from, actually.
What's that? Is that where you just bet on all kinds of random things? Poly Market?
Yeah. Is it just politics on Poly Market? I don't know, but that's where the people vote on who they think is going to win an
Listen, when it
election.
comes to gambling platforms, they're going to let you gamble on anything. Nobody's going to draw the. Go take your business somewhere else.
Yeah.
I guarantee you can gamble on almost anything you want.
My buddies sent it to me. They're big Cleveland Cavs fans. They sent it to me from the MGM Sportbook here. So we have the best odds, followed by the Raptors, Knicks, Rockets, and Spurs.
Question's
Why
going to be
is that? What does he see here?
Just,
Money?
Well,
They gonna
yeah,
pay?
we have the money to be able to pay a superstar. You have Trey.
If you had Giannis and Trey, and
That's gonna
both
be
were healthy,
beastly.
now you need a third really, 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 really good player, and you got something. That's how the NBA is.
If Jalen Johnson is healthy, he's that guy.
All right,
He's
well,
a great three.
Let's get our hopes up, and then we'll be devastated within a few days. It seems to be. I'll believe it.
We have the trade capital to give the Bucks that too. So I'm really pumped. I really am
And he's
impressed.
still a great player. I know the team kind of collapsed, but
I think Giannis is still great.
Okay.
He could use a change of scenery. Atlanta is in a win now scenario because they want Trey to resign. If the team is not successful next year, Trey's going to walk.
yeah. Well, he should.
And I agree with
Thankfully
that. He
for
should.
him, he came into the league so young that I think after all this nonsense, he's still like 27 or something.
Yeah, he's super young.
What was he, like 19 when he came? 18 or something? I mean,
Yeah, he was super young.
So, okay, well, that's, I suppose that is something to be hopeful for, and maybe we won't.
So get your season tickets now.
That's right. Go
While
out
you
and
can.
buy season tickets.
He's
Also,
Greek. Did you know that?
Yeah, of course I knew that. His
I
name
didn't
is-
know
his
that.
The Greek
name
freak.
is-
I didn't know that he
it's
was
called
Greek.
the Greek freak. Is
Giannis.
Well, I didn't
Giannis,
know that either.
Say his last name.
I just Googled. I can't say his last
Okay,
name.
so-
I know. I can't say
Nobody
it.
can. That's why everybody says Giannis.
Antitoko I can't say it.
Ooh, that's pretty dang close to him.
That's pretty good.
He's more Greek than Jared's wife.
Oh, yeah, she's not Greek at all, but she's culturally Greek. 23andMe stole that from her. So, yeah.
The denial, though. It is funny.
The
It's like,
denial.
no,
is-
no,
well, it's a whole
whatever.
family. You got to get, people aren't going to give up.
It's funny. Anytime I bring it up around her family.
It's like Trumpers who won't admit that he ever does anything wrong.
He
They're just
don't.
too invested.
He don't. Name one thing he done wrong.
Well, we just
Oh,
figured
yeah,
out
the censorship. I don't like the censorship.
What censorship?
Well, he's arresting people for writing op-eds.
Well, they shouldn't have wrote the op-ed.
Well, I guess
That's
that's your
against
point
the
of
law.
view. I guess that's your point of
Ain't
view.
it a law?
No, it's not a law.
Oh, it ain't?
No. But they're they're from other countries, so you can.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you can.
I'm still glad he's doing it.
Yeah.
Even if it's against the law.
You were saying, I think I feel like I cut you off.
Oh, when it comes to the culturally Greek thing, we're still not sure where Tina's Big Yaya came from. Big Yaya being the great grandmother.
All that matters is what's in her blood. Do you
But-
understand how this works?
but they
Just won't
delete-
admit it. They're
they-
still holding out hope.
If Big
No,
Yaya,
there's-
is she related to Big Yaya?
Of course.
By blood?
Yes.
If it ain't in her blood, it ain't in Big Yaya's blood.
There's a missing piece of the puzzle. We don't know for sure, so it could still be real.
If it ain't in little Yaya's veins, it ain't in Big Yaya's veins.
Everyone's too invested in their identity.
I know.
I'll
I don't
change my
care.
identity any day.
I'm Irish.
It's easy, Greg. It's easy for us. We're German.
Yeah.
there's that period of history that nobody wants to. Yeah.
Yeah, true. That probably does factor in. Like
Yeah.
Germans came to the United States but didn't live in like concentrated communities because
Right.
they didn't want everyone to know they were.
Exactly, and there's that whole stuff that went down in the 20s.
Well, the Greeks and
30s
Italians
and
are-
40s that we're not too proud
People
of.
make mistakes.
Yes, they do, but that was a big one.
Yes. Probably the biggest.
Some cultures are very proud of their ethnicity, and the Greeks fall in that category.
Especially when you're not actually Greek. Turns out you're more proud to be Greek. I think the natives should start getting angry at them. You're not Greek. Get out of here. All right.
That's what the Irish do. All these Americans claim to be Irish.
No, they don't like the Irish don't like American Irish who visit
Yeah, that's
Ireland. Probably because they get real drunk and act like fools, I would imagine.
Hey, they were very nice to me when I was over there. a
Well,
couple
you're
months
not
ago.
Irish, Yamamoto. We had nothing to worry about. All right, that music's telling us two things. Shut the hell up, get the hell out. You know us, we do what we're told. We're good citizens like that. Shelley Winter is up next. He's got a great radio show for you. We'll be back tomorrow, 3 p.m. You're all invited to join us, but until then,